everybody, how you guys doing? Hellcat Dad with you here, another Wednesday night fight. Brought to you on this glorious September 27, 2017. Got some great matches lined up for you this evening. Got the lowdown going right here for you, so let me give you the got BK versus NB at the 8 p.m. slot. 9 p.m. 36 Panzer versus Nightmare. And then at 10 p.m. UGCC versus On Your Stick. So, pretty good lineup that we have coming out this evening. Hope you enjoy the show. Got some couple commentators here with me this evening. Got turn down this just for you guys. All right, there we go. So we got a longtime resident of the Wednesday night faction here, and then we also got a new guy coming in. Joined of TLP. So first introductions out there. One of the members of the Lid Poppers, Mark Jackson. How you doing?
How's it going, brother? I am well. Looking
Not
forward to tonight's matches.
Yep. This is going to be a great evening. And then also, the other member here I was talking about, another one of the board of directors here on Wednesday Night Fights, Anarchy. How you doing?
I am well. Excited to be here.
All right, so here we go. I got the room going. We're just waiting on BK to finish shuffling in.
Yep. Is that Silent Shadows guy with them? Do you know? Now, Hells, have you had a chance to read the October overview thing that they posted today?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think like the main point for everybody is they're doing the Halloween thing they did last year with the tanks that they come alive or whatever they say on that Halloween weekend. They're bringing back like the tanks that was able to do it last year, the OI, the KV5, and the Lycan. Those ones are doing it again, and they're adding two other tanks. And the two tanks they're adding, one of which I'm drawing a blank on, and the other one's the Bulldog from, it's the German Bulldog or something like that from PC. It's pretty much the Brazilian Bulldog but better because it's standard round. Instead of being a high explosive, it shoots a 102 pen AP round as standard. So instead of paying a freaking arm and a leg to buy 102 pen heat rounds on the Brazilian Bulldog, you can just shoot them standard out of the other one and then have still a HEP round that still is a high pen, high explosive. So it's just a better Brazilian Bulldog.
Isn't that the same round? It's on the Rue already?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the pen
It's going to be the best
isn't
carried
anything.
light tank ever created. That's the rumor.
Yeah, they've said that before, though, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be stupid. It's going to be crazy because the 90 mil on it's just it's going to riddle people to death because the reload speed and everything on it.
Yeah, the people that have the Bulldog, like, you know, when you're penning those shots and stuff, like, the thing tears tanks apart. It's just, as it stands right now, the Brazilian Bulldog sucks at making silver because you're paying, like, 4K per heat round that you're shooting. But out of the German Bulldog, you're paying, you know, standard shell costs, so a couple hundred silver, for literally the same pen round. It's just AP. And then it's got, when you want to, high explosive rounds that are the exact same as on the Brazilian Bulldog that you can switch to. So when you get those lightly armored tanks, you just shred other light tanks. It's going to be a pretty good little tank. Plus you also have, like, the Bulldog hull and stuff, so it's, you know, the really good gun depression and everything.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know I'm going to enjoy my two that I have. I have the Lycan and the Craft Panthers, so.
Oh, yeah, I never got one. And I think they're also doing, I didn't read it very much, and I should have read it better, but they're also doing an Earn Op, I think, again, maybe unless I'm reading it wrong, later this month, so that's cool. And then the two Swedish premiums are going on sale. That's also pretty sweet.
I'm interested in that medium. But also the TD is pretty cool just because it has the new mode. So the buttons.
The siege mode.
Yep. So that's going to be interesting, and then it's going to be quite drastic. Some of the Swedes are going to be. So I mean.
Some of those, they're going to have to, like, Wargaming's already said they've got a balance update coming out in the fall, but, I mean, those Swedish tanks are like the epitome of power creep. You know, they're going to really have to shuffle some things around, because it's going to make a lot of tanks really not as good. Because, I mean, that Tier 8 Premium has, like, 300 millimeters of standard pen, you know? And, like, the Tier 9 and 10 are the same way. They've got some of the highest standard pens in the game. Shoot APCR standard. Have some of the highest DPMs in the game. Most accurate guns in the game when they're in siege mode. So, it's going to be pretty funny.
Yeah, but the thing about it is those TDs are kind of like the Object 263. Super accurate, super high, you know, can shoot quickly, low alpha. Not as high alpha.
Yeah, exactly. It's less like if you get a city map or something, you're going to be mad because, like, you can't... Like, with an E4, nobody wants to roll around and trade with an E4, but when you're in one of those, almost every heavy tank in the game at Tier 9 and 10 are going to out-trade you, you know? They're pretty situational, but, like, the Tier 10 does 40 kilometers an hour backwards, so you can literally have your gun and just be running away backwards, just, like, shooting people. It's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely going to be an interesting tank for Murovanka, Prokhorovka,
Redshire,
Malinovka, Redshire, all these open-ended maps that has the ability to use the siege mode in, and it's probably going to become one of the most top overpowered TDs in the game, because we'll have, you know, some of the best people in the world are going to be playing it, and
yeah.
So, yet again, I wish...
But
sorry.
Then again, when you remember the impact that the Waffle had when it first came out at Tier 10 and how dangerous it was, and then 2 updates later, it's not as dangerous.
Yeah, once people get used to them.
Yeah, you're going to have
really the biggest
lords out there with them, and you're going to be like...
They're not going to know about how to use siege mode or something. They're going to be just driving it the normal way.
You're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to melt you off because you can out DPM.
Well, like, basically what's going to happen is with those, on certain city maps you can make them work. Like on Himmels, if you go to the hill, because the gun depression is stupid, you can make it work there. But good players are always going to find a way to make the tank work, so that's good. But, I mean, you just got to get them spotted. Like, if they're unspotted, they're incredibly dangerous. But they've got okay armor. Like, I know the 10 can bounce everything, or I think it's the 9 or whatever, can bounce everything above 120 or below 122 caliber because they're not thick, they're just really well angled. Yeah. And the 9 is something like that. So certain tanks can overmatch it, but the 10 has that Hesh catcher thing. Like, it's just that wire mesh shield where if you shoot like a heat round or something, or a Death Star, you're going to just not even really do anything because it's just a big mesh shield. You know, piece of expanded metal.
That's actually what they use on the side of some of the Abrams, and also
because it defeats shape charges.
Yeah, it gets
like RPGs and stuff.
RPG 7s and stuff like that in real life. So
yeah. But again, from a balance perspective, I do wonder if siege mode's engaged and if you get tracked, as we call it, can you not come out of siege mode? Because again, that's an automatic balance opportunity right there and then.
I know.
Because if you shoot a splash round and you track them, can they not retract their siege mode? And if they can't, then that's surely going to narrow their gun arc, etc., etc. And that could be self-balancing.
Well, those tanks as a whole, as soon as you track them, like most TDs, you know what I mean, they can still move their gun when they're tracked a little bit, but those, the gun is legitimately locked in place. To like put the gun on target, you have to move the hull. All that siege mode does is make your movement forward and back really crappy, but you're just spinning on your axis. So tracking them at any time, they can't move their gun. So literally just track them and move, 1 degree to the right, and they can't shoot you.
Yeah. So again, even the enemy TDs just need to carry a couple of extra splash rounds, and yeah, so it may be balanced automatically. Pen's pen, but if you can't hit anything, then you can't pen anything.
Yeah. Well, and also one of the things, like, you're going to see the meta on them, I'd imagine. Pretty much everybody's going to run Cam 1 and binos because, as everybody knows, in siege mode, you can move and it doesn't break your, like, you can rotate and it doesn't break your camo nut or binos, like, as long as you don't move forward or go backwards, but you can turn, again, on its axis, and keep the camo nut and binos up. So that's actually a pretty strong trait to have on those. It's basically like giving it a turret when it's in siege mode, like how the Borsig and Waffle and stuff can do it. That's pretty much what it does.
Totally, but I mean, even if you remember back in year one, arguably when they first brought turreted TDs into the game, for weeks everybody said they were broken because they could sit still and maintain their camo.
Yeah.
A year later, didn't make any difference. No one's scared of them anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it was just something. Yet again, you know what? It's matured. It's a mature show. You get the people that have to have the bitch factory. This ain't right, and that ain't right, and this ain't right. You're going to break the game. You're going to do this. You know what? Quit your bitching. So. It's one of those, quit your bitching, pick up your controller and play the game. If you don't like it, put the controller down and go play Destiny. Something. Yeah. It's one of those, if you don't like what's going on, don't play. I mean, it's get real here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they, oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, one way or another, if it seems imbalanced, they do what everybody does. They monitor the stats, they watch it, and eventually they make it right. I mean, it happened with the Tier 10 Waffle. Eventually, now I think we can all argue that's arguably a balanced tank. Don't get me wrong, you're doing something wrong if you can't get 2,000 damage a game. You're doing something wrong, but it's only really the experts that can really play that game now. Tank now, because it's so easily spotted, etc.
Well, like, I had never played one, and I played one recently on a friend's account, and I definitely think, like, when you look at the game and the way it's designed, it's certainly a broken tank, right? Like, it is actually, there's no counter to it in a specific set of circumstances, and that's the way the game's built. Everything, has a counter and stuff, and the tank has a ton of drawbacks. Really, the problem I've always had with it is the fact that you can be in a mouse, and you can make a little bit of a mistake pulling out, a foot and a half too much, and the reload is so good that it can track you and you can repair it and it can track you before you can get back and you're dead. I don't think, like, the amount of firepower it carries, the 6 shots with the long reload, is necessarily the problem. I just think it's the fact that it can put the damage out incredibly quick, that if you make even the slightest misplay, your game's over. And there's nothing else in the game that can do that to you.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things.
Yes, I agree.
The Waffle is a pain in the butt. But it's yet again one of those things. The minute it gets spotted, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's
dead I know.
Because everybody's like, kill the Waffle.
One of the games I played on Mines, it was a 7v7 because it was early in the morning, and I rolled up to the middle. I got 2 shots off before Artie hit me for 1,800, and a Waffle hit me from the back, Waffle 4. And it was just, I got double tapped and was dead. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks.
I'm a true believer that I like the Waffle pen off in the air, the Tier 9. I love that TD.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that tank. Do you drive it in reverse, Hellscath? I always drive it in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
I drive it about everywhere, and I have this weird tactic I like to do to go play. Because of the gun elevation, I'll back up like to a rock and have another rock in front of me, and then I'll elevate my cannon and then just back up so the back end of the tank picks straight up, and you just kind of flatten yourself over this other rock, and you just keep it partially moved, and that reticule will just stay closed, and you're like, you fire, and then if no one's looking, you're cool. If someone's looking, boop, let go of the throttle. You're tucked behind a rock.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things with it is, like, people don't realize the gun elevation. If you ever put it up, like, you could shoot planes down with that thing. It can almost look straight up, and so you can do the thing you do, usually with, like, low gun depression mediums, where you engineer it by riding up on a slope, but you can do that times 65 with that thing, because your gun elevation is hilarious. And then, even on city maps, because 560 Alpha is still pretty strong, you can out-trade heavies, really high standard pen, good DPM, you can play, like, assault Waffle, when you need to, and roll with your heavies, and as soon as they fire, you just pull out and shoot them.
Backwards down the street, and you can take a right, and just barely peek the corner, and all you have is the barrel that's sticking out.
Yeah, I know, and, like, the little bit of the gun shield, like 3 inches of gun shield for them to try to hit.
Yeah, and it's one of those, look at that, they fired, if they didn't aim in, RBRT in it right there, they're more than likely going to hit the building or completely miss.
Just wide, just go wide, yeah.
And so, it's like, All right, I'll take that 540 from you, and I'll see you back in about 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's really. I know some of the biggest games I had, like two of the biggest games I had were on Muravanka. Whatever the one is in with the forest, I'm pretty sure it's Muro. Um, or no, it's Malinovka, I think. Yeah, Malinovka. Um, and then I had one really big game on Himmels as well, because same thing. Like I was able to snipe the people up by the church that I went low, and as soon as the team folded, I was just brawling it out with heavies and stuff. And it's weirdly shaped as well. And so sometimes when people snap shots, like the shell will go under the gun shield or something, and you pull off some really just RNG things with it because it's shaped funny.
But like I say,
But yeah, I like the Waffle
for
4 way better than the Borsig. Sorry.
Overall, nowadays, yeah, I do, because it maintained its view range. It's still got the 410, and you can do the scary things that Healthcast suggested.
Exactly.
And you've also suggested.
That 410 view range is hilarious.
Is monstrous.
That is so good.
Monstrous.
I know. Oh my god, yeah.
But like I say, from the tier 10 waffle, the proof of the pudding, whether we think it's good, whether we think it's bad, and yeah, pubs, it can still be strong in the right hands. How many people play it at 768? 0.
The Waffle 4? Or the Waffle E100?
The E100.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
many times,
no,
many times you've seen it played.
One-trick pony, man. You come out for the shock and awe. Oh, I clipped the tank, and then that's it. The game's over. But
yeah.
In the 768 format, once the battle starts, it's typically over within 3 minutes. Once it actually starts
exactly. As long as people aren't sitting there, once like the first engagement happens, the Waffle really only has that clip potential, and it's almost never going to get a second reload in. And so the only times I've seen teams pick them is on like Ghost Town or something, and what ends up happening is 90% of the battle it hides because you can't get it spotted, and then it tries to roll out near the end to finish it up, and either it does or it doesn't, but regardless, it's useless tank for most of the battle.
Yeah, and again, that's the condensed mode. Obviously, pubs is quite different. You've got 15 minutes. You've got a monstrous chance of getting off 3 clips and taking it to
no
the bank.
Communication. Like, people's focus in pubs is not there, you know what I mean? If people focus you down in pubs, it's just dumb luck. There's really no coordinated effort.
You want to invite Pants in here?
Is he coming to commentate? Or is he playing?
I don't think he's playing. Why would he be playing? It's NB.
Okay, that's fair. You got me there. Hello, right. Pants. How's it going?
Speaking of Pants, so yet again, I'm going to.
Good. How are you guys?
I'm going to throw out my little thing here, as always. The time has came. Pants, I want you to do the intro to your created, your directed, and WNF advertised fantasy draft. I have the word of mouth in here himself, so.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday night presents World of Tanks fantasy draft. So what you're gonna see Immortals / Panda taking on your 6. You're gonna see Nightmare taking on UGCC, and you're gonna see New Beginning taking on I4 and I. The whole basis behind it is you're going to be selecting players, any group of players from any one of those 6 teams, and you're going to be fielding a fantasy team for a chance to win a Tier 8 premium tank, any Tier 8 premium tank that is available for sale. So the way it works, you get to select, I think it's up to 3 Super Unicums, 3 Unicum players according to World of Tanks clans.br. And this is, by the way, recent, not overall. And up to 6. I believe, I may have these numbers a little wrong, but anyways, you get to select from Super Unicums, Greats, and very good or below recent WN8 according to World of Tanks clans.br. Those tankers are going to play that night. And just watch your team compete, see how you do, and hopefully you are the lucky recipient of a Tier 8 premium tank.
Wow, is that all based on damage?
Yeah, it's
yes.
People score points based on damage and stuff. If anybody has any questions about it that's watching, let us know, and we will get you the link to the forum thing where you get it's got all the answers you pretty much could ever have, and then also where you sign up your team, the team of guys you select.
I'm going to start messaging all the captains, and this is for everybody listening right now. I'm going to start messaging all the captains, and I am going to try to get that information posted on the forum as well. Players you can expect to see play, because keep in mind, even if you pick somebody, that does not necessarily mean they are going to play at all. So I will try to get you guys as much info. Exactly. That's why you can modify your lineup all the way up to an hour before it starts, and then it's locked. And I'll try to get you guys as much info as possible. Go ahead.
Yeah, we want to talk to the captains the night before and stuff. The plan is to talk to them and get it. Yeah, so we kind of know have a rough idea who's going to be playing, and then people can the people that are paying attention will benefit the most from it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, guys. Game 1 coming out here. BK is going to be fielding 5 this round. NB going to be fielding 7. BK's other people are going to be inbound, so we're going to run this first one. Cliff Encounter. One of everybody's favorites. They have so many different strats for this. BK needs to be careful here with the addition of the other 2 tanks. BK needs to stick together. They cannot break apart right now, so let's see how this is going to work out for these guys.
I like Cliff. I never was a huge fan of it in Standard, but the more I've been seeing it played in Encounter, to be honest, I've been becoming more and more fond of it.
Yeah, really like it in Encounter. It's a great setup.
So BK coming out with the E50, pair T10s, STI, and a Conch. New Beginnings. Coming out with the Bulldog 50, T54, E50, Batch Hat AP, pair of Conchs, and a Wiz 111-14.
I like that there. The WZ-1114 is a really good tank for right there because it's got, the highest alpha on the field right now. If you're going to have a tank to punish, that's the one you want it to do early because you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of it. And he also, right now those tanks are holding back all of BK's team, and so immediately you're seeing the mediums come over, and they're looking to just get them in a cross early because, there's enough tanks on NB's side where BK doesn't want to push into that. But, oh no, Zach kills himself off the cliff. Well, I guess it's only fair because BK's running a guy down, 2 guys down, but
he did it for the team.
Yeah, make sure somebody records that and rub that into him later. Make sure he understands. BK's got to split their forces to deal with the mediums, and so now I'd imagine, you're going to see NB pushing, and just Raging's going to eat the damage, but, this cross is pretty much game-ending, the way they're stuck.
I wouldn't want to be 5v7 on Cliff at any time, no matter who was playing.
Right, yeah, that's never a recipe for success.
Yeah, they're about to get encircled here.
BK is not just rolling over, though, to be honest. They're putting the pain out. I can respect that.
Yeah, they're trying.
They've still been making them pay. No easy wins, right? Oh, the Citadel might actually kill Death Dealer here. Oh, he bounced. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Oh, and he goes down. Wow.
Great had to have been ammo racked.
Right. I think I saw somebody get ammo racked when that push happened. I saw an ammo rack module damage pop up. I didn't know who it was, though, because it was a big old cluster. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Really good thinking on NB's part to just immediately, as soon as you spot their whole team, your mediums aren't going to do good in a heads-up fight, so there's no reason to not throw them around behind to play a little hectic with them. Viper Vortex, that's a pretty good game. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, got to be. But 5 versus 7, rough gig on Cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they can fill out their team.
They said they had 1 or 2 guys inbound, so hopefully they can get them in and, have a full team. It might make things a little bit nicer for them.
So these guys are ranked 12th and 9th in the server division. I think that's accurate. BK being 12th and NB being 9th.
Yeah, BK, when they show up, they're a really solid team, but they've always had, it's been a running thing. They've had a bit of a problem with attendance sometimes. But when they can all get here, they're solid. Really too bad.
Well, they've definitely been putting together some consistency when they manage the whole team. You're absolutely correct.
And then NB obviously always brings out a pretty good amount of people. But we've recently started to only 10 people in the lobby from each team, because if not, it gets a little ridiculous. So that's a new thing.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we all went over. We had a practice last night. It was a good practice, but we had 15 players from Nightmare show up. We pretty much could have played ourselves. So.
Yeah.
One of our big things is today, before the matches even started, earlier today, we went over who the 10 players that should be showing up should be, and if they can't make it, then we go to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy.
Well, and if teams are really keen on getting certain guys playing, but there's a lot of them, there's nothing wrong with having 2 or 3 guys drop after the first
Switch
game
out,
and 2 guys come in and sub them. Yeah, just always maintain 10 people in the lobby. It doesn't have to be the same 10. We just any more than 10 people from one team, and it becomes very hard to manage a lobby.
And New Beginning also picked up a couple new players. One player in particular that I've heard nothing but good things about is Mythic Monster, who's been with Raging Warrior for a long time. I've heard a lot of good things about him. He just put out a good game in that T54 as well.
Well, I noticed that that Red X Star guy, I can't see him. Am I missing him? Is he still here?
Yes,
yeah,
Red X Black Star.
He had a 3-mark
another
Conqueror,
one.
so that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's another good player. So they're actually going to be a surprise team. They're going to start bumping up their standards a little bit, and they expect good things from them coming forward.
Cool.
That's good.
Mythic Monster, for some reason, texted me just before the match started and told me that his favourite colour is orange. Might as well just put that out there. I don't know why. But,
okay. I'll write that one down. That's good to know in the future.
It made the stream anyway if he watches it back. Congratulations, Mythic, on your utterly bizarre comment.
That's pretty funny. That's what I'm going to start doing. Anytime I'm playing a match that's streamed, whoever's hosting it, I'm just going to send them very random messages about personal preferences of mine.
Yes, well, that worked. It tickled me. I could only reply, okay. I couldn't think of anything that was a decent counter.
Yeah, I mean, you should have said what your favorite color was. I mean, he just told you a very intimate detail about himself, and you just blocked him out.
You're right. I'm going to text him back. You're absolutely right. That would be rude not to.
Exactly. I mean, he laid himself out there for you, and you just brushed him off like he was nothing.
Yeah, I feel really bad now. You're laying this on me really thick. Telling him back. Mine is green.
Good. It's a shame yours wasn't
I
also
feel a lot-
orange. You guys could be, kindred spirits.
I'm not keen on orange. No, it's just not. It's not one of my favourites.
I mean, it's better than you didn't lie to him, right? That's also good.
Yep.
Could have been worse.
It's also good.
All right, BK, yet again, pulling out E50, T10, STI, and a pair of conks. NB rolling out with the Bulldog, T4, pair of T10s, and one of those conkers.
I'm assuming, Pants, you've seen a lot of these strats that they're going to run, because when you guys play them enough, I'm sure you're involved in their team. I would imagine none of these strats are going to be a big surprise for you.
No, it's going to depend on who's calling, I think, if it's Kill You or if it's Raging.
Yeah. Stinger's not calling?
It may be Stinger, but...
I didn't know Kill You called. I knew
he's a
Raging
very good
did.
caller.
Oh, okay.
Stinger's not in the game, so Stinger's not going to be calling, I hope.
Yeah, right. I hope you have to add that too.
BK up to 6, so that just about makes it a full-on match. Still a horrible disadvantage in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, anything you're down a tank, but it's better than not playing, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate NB just putting a Conqueror up on that one rock right there. It's like it's perfectly designed to go hold down behind. It's like it was put there for a reason. The other side does not have that spot. It's got more of a hard corner instead of a hold down spot.
Absolutely. I like where fair enough, he just took a slap for it, but I was going to suggest I liked where Rover Rambler has parked himself, but he did take a slap for it, so curse of the commentator there.
Well, this is the thing. Whenever you fight the 1-2 line, really the team that wins is whatever team swings its mediums around and gets the cross, because if not, it's just everybody taking pot shots at tanks that are not really well exposed. And it's all a lot of luck on who wins that, but NB throwing the mediums around takes a lot of the luck out of the game once they start putting cross shots in.
Yeah, but they've only slung the one light tank round. I would, again, I've done what they did last time and sent a couple to the top. No, there's another guy coming now. I'm close enough in my
Yeah, the
camera to see
T-54
it. I
is
see it
not
now.
as quick
See him coming.
as the Bulldog.
But again,
Now, they do have to be careful, though, that BK doesn't just immediately turn and snap them both and really lay the paint on them. They've still got to play it carefully.
yep. Again, that little bit of cat pressure applied still causes you worry. It's always in the back of your mind when you hear the alarm go off.
Yeah, I would honestly rather an E50 right now versus the T54, just better gun depression. Like, the T54 has to really, really, really commit to shooting, where, I mean, the E50 has 8 degrees over the side. He doesn't really have to do too much to get shots in.
Totally. But again, tank down, sending that T10 out there by itself into the wall. I don't know where that's not going to work.
Especially if he gets spotted climbing that, man. That T54 and Bulldog are just going to be plugging his engine. And he can't do anything about that.
Even if he makes it up, he's still two guns versus one. And I can't say that's a strong move.
Yeah, I think he's banking on, like, if he gets up there unspotted, which obviously he's going to, because he did, I think he's banking on being able to just bully, because the Bulldog really can't pen a T10 from the front. Like, its standard pen is
Who
not
knows
enough
how
to
many
kill his
rounds?
armor.
Who knows how many rounds Zach has left either. He has shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if he loads up a heat clip, he
And that's
struggles
a
to pen it.
Oof.
That was a low roll, too. A very low roll.
But as soon
Now
as
he's
he's
spotted,
detected,
though,
as
so.
he is now, so the other guys should surely just move in, crush that like they're doing right now. Just straight in. As soon as they see it, they know they've got the
Yeah.
mega overmatch. As soon as he
they've
was
only got 2
spotted,
tanks.
just all triggered. Just literally straight away, trigger, go.
I think, like, Zach's popping a reload, and he's going to come around and start flanking the T10. But, I mean, still, the T10 doesn't really have great armor, but against 175 pen, its armor's decent. That was a snapshot. Well played. I don't know how that hit, but it happened. Oh. I got the reset. The only thing is, now that Raging's there, you know, a little bit different of a story. The T54 is going to struggle out last now with him in support.
Well, I definitely credit their initial turtle, but as soon as that T10 went up there, and as soon as he was spotted, you all saw it straight away. As soon as they knew the overmatch was in,
Yeah.
pretty much caused their doom. I wouldn't have bothered if I would have been a man down. I'd have stayed together.
Yeah, I didn't really have a better idea. I mean, they pushed him up there, I think, to prevent the Bulldog and T54 from getting rear shots, but they weren't really pressuring him so bad from up there. But I mean, they had to do something. But yeah, like you said, I mean, as soon as they did something, they died for it. But I don't really know anything else they could have done, because if they didn't send him up there, they just would have gotten capped out in 40 seconds. So they were kind of in a lose-lose situation.
I agree, and yeah, no, I'm not discrediting them for their effort. Again, it was a good turtle. I just feel that their own move caused their demise.
Yeah, no, to be honest, BK was set up really well early, and they were up on hit points. Like, they were trading better than NB was, but NB had the foresight to send guys around like they did on the other side as well, and that's what wins the game. Because if they would have just sat there and traded shots, BK could have won that, because they just were getting, you know, poorly traded.
Yeah, and being a man down is always a problem. Always a problem. Pretty solid damage for NB there. That lovely in the Conqueror. Look at that, 3,200. That is what we call sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. But as you mentioned earlier, BK did pretty well from a damage perspective early. And yeah, it's easy for us sitting up here in the high tower, looking at that move and saying that I wouldn't have done it, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, that, I don't know, man. It's tough being a guy down, right? Because if they weren't, they could have had a guy up there and wouldn't have been any weaker down low. But
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any. I don't know anything I would have done differently. I don't really have a better call. I mean, it's just kind of a crap situation, I guess.
Yeah, and even if staying wouldn't necessarily have been a positive, but you wouldn't have had the negative of the he's spotted up there, right? We know there's only 2 left. Let's go.
Yeah. It's a Hell's Cats map pick. So I wonder what he's going to come up with. I'll give you 2 guesses.
Okay, my guess, number 1 is, let's just throw this out there. Let's say he's going to pick Himmelsdorf, Winter.
I'm gonna go Ravage Capital, dude. He prays to that map at night when he goes to sleep. His favorite map.
Tundra. Oh, we're throwing that out there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now that is one I haven't seen in forever. Wow.
Now, to
You
be
know, I
fair,
actually like this map, and I love calling on this map.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
there's
I
so
hate
many
it.
possibilities.
Oh, absolutely.
and so many
Exactly.
possibilities.
It's so forgiving. So forgiving.
It's also a map that you can play a man down and be smart about it and switch to speed and compensate.
So many different spots to turtle.
There is
You can pretty much go anywhere and turtle the map.
I have had bad experiences on Tundra. That's probably why I don't like it. But there is a lot of power positions, like really, really, really absolute power position that, like Mark said, if you can get guys into, I mean, that can overcome being a tank down. I don't think it's bad for 8s and 9s, but playing 10s on it is something I would like to avoid. If anybody's ever done it, I wouldn't recommend it. But I don't think it's bad for 9s. But 10s, there's just a lot of tanks that are really decent hull down that get super frustrating. And then the view range saturation is pretty ridiculous because everybody's rocking, max view range by just having optics on with their base view range, not counting food and stuff.
Yep.
And so it's just no matter what you do, you get spotted.
Can you still? I don't know if you can. I haven't checked in a while because I haven't played the map a lot. But in a Bulldog, since the man's picked it, a while ago, you definitely could get all the way up on top of the mountain down the one line from the south spawn. You could climb right up on top of that, and you could perform an amazing turtle from there. You could send just one light tank right to the roof. Yeah, you could. I don't know if it's still available. They may have nerfed it, the position on the map, but we used to regularly, just not in comp games, just in pubs, chuck a light tank right up the left hand side, and you can get on top of that mountain.
It's pretty hilarious.
One, I think it is. Just a light tank up there on spot, and you can spot everything. You can pop a artillery down in K1 and rain fire and just turtle everything. You can almost win from 5 tanks versus 10 in the end of a pub match, to be honest.
Wow. Well, see, the thing I do admire about Tundra as far as map design goes is there is a lot of maps that's kind of cut and dry what you can do in the beginning, and it's the mid game that's important. But with Tundra, a lot of the stuff is important. There's a lot of things you can do that's interesting in the beginning by going really heavy bridge push or 1-2 line, or even go down in the water on the 7-8-9 line, going down in the water and around the hill, or going up on top of the hill and trying to take that. A lot of possibilities.
And it's definitely a map that you guys going forward when you're organising your own competitions and all that type of thing, because of the sheer variance of tactics that you should consider including, because it's a map that everybody knows well enough, but we very rarely play it from a comp perspective because we all like to be able to narrow the enemy down to 2 or 3 possible tactics, and that gives you 5-6 straight off the bat, and it's scary to play as a home choice because you can have the best will in the world. There's a relatively simple counter for almost everything that you can think of.
I know when I was playing comp a lot, anytime you saw a team pick Tundra, you were like, crap, because you knew the reason they picked it is because they had a really good strat worked out. And every time a team picked it against me, it was brutal because they just had a strat that they had practiced a bunch and they knew exactly what they wanted to do and win. And I was like, freaking nuts, I hate this map, and I never played it, practice it because I hated it. And so I used to get screwed on Tundra no matter what I did. But I mean, I don't like it on standard. It's not bad on encounter though.
Yeah, but again, the positive of the hurry is the 7 minutes, and despite all the beautiful options you've got in 15 minutes in pubs, it does narrow the factor on 7 minutes. How long can you sit and wait? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I really like ST1s and Conquerors in this because the terrain has a lot of undulations and whatnot, so there's a lot of very, very, very strong hold down positions, especially with an ST1 and Conqueror. Man, you can just abuse people.
Totally, and in 9-6-1 format, it's a tank that, from pretty much against the Tier 9 American Heavy, this is one that it can promote the benefits of its strong hull.
All right, guys, so MB coming out with T30, M41 Bulldog, E50, Batchat AP, pair of Conks, AMX 5120, BK coming out with a pair of T10s, pair of STIs, pair of Conquerors.
Sweet. Strong map for the T30 for sure. That's a good pick on this map.
Yeah. Now I wonder. We asked this question last time I was on, and somebody picked a T30. Do you think it's got the 120, or do you think he's got the 155? No way of telling by looking at it, so you only know when he shoots. But I don't know if anybody had any opinions on it. What you would run?
My opinion, I would go with the 120.
He has the 155 on it.
How can you tell?
It took him 25 seconds to reload.
Good play. Good call.
Yeah, because he must have swapped his shells halfway through, because the thing's got a 16-second reload. So he must have swapped to APCR or something like 10 seconds into the battle.
Yeah, it's a tough call on which gun you're going to run it. You could realistically do either thing. I mean, if you see a T30 pop somebody for 800, are you going to want to step back out there and take a shot from him if you're low on health?
Exactly.
You're right.
But then also, like, when people don't know it, I mean, the 120 catches people out. They hear you fire, and they're like, okay, I got 16 seconds, and you pop back out 6 seconds later, and they plug you, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you do that. I think if I was a caller for him, and I was calling for a T30, on, like, Ghost Town or Ensk, 155 all day because, you know, you're knife fighting range a lot of the time.
Yes,
but on this,
totally.
where you're going to be doing a lot of hold down sniping, the 120 might be better because it behaves so much nicer, and you really don't want the RNG. Wow, Stinger taking two double taps, both of which for 500. Like, the ST1 and the T10 both just got really good rolls and punished them for 1,000 right off the bat.
They're going to get hit from behind.
Yeah, and BK are going to cause some serious...
Oof.
Sorry, going to get some serious trouble right now. This
Especially with that 5120.
Beautiful early play by NB. That is lovely.
Yeah.
What a fantastic.
Yeah, because BK's completely stuck now. They turn around, they get shot in the back. Yep. They don't turn around, they get shot in the back.
Yeah. That's some quality.
The only problem with the 5120, man, is the gun depression. 6 degrees. Like right now, Raging is getting melted. If anybody's seeing, he's actually a one-shot, and he's gonna die.
He's done.
Because
right here.
Yeah, because he saw the T10, and he didn't have enough gun depression to shoot him, so he had to pull forward farther than he wanted to, and got, you know, quadruple tapped for it. And the 50B you wouldn't have had to do that.
Set on fire.
Oh yeah, wow. Focus fire on BK's part though is pretty quality right now, if we're being honest. They're really not letting many mistakes go unpunished.
Doing a hell of a job of holding what, in my opinion, was a really bad position, but they're doing really well.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you see people get jumped in a position like this, it's, you know, a foregone conclusion, the game's over. But BK is having none of it. They are smacking tanks left, right, and center.
Just went ahead.
Yeah, that was a sense of death. He did need to die there.
Yeah, that bad AP just was trying to cut a corner way too aggressively. Oh, okay, the T30 does have the 155. He just hit the ST1 for 795. So, but I like the ST1 turning around to hold the line and letting the other guys fight that E50 and keeping the pressure off the back.
Again, that T30, causing problems. Regardless of the fact it's taking hits, it's causing problems because it's really difficult to corner it with support from behind. They need to get rid of Death Dealer. That's the guy they need to get rid of to consolidate.
Yeah, if they had that E50 dead, they could just fight a frontal, a frontal engagement, and they'd be a lot happier about it. But having to keep turning to your right to worry about an E50 popping you, that's frustrating. Oh yeah, I'm great picking up the T30. Nice shot, nice shot. Okay, yeah, so Viper's just like, okay, boys, I got the E50, don't sweat it. He's just gonna... Good situational awareness on Death Dealer's part to not shoot Viper, though, because he's never gonna kill him. He needs to take the low health tanks out.
That was smart.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very brave.
Because if he would have just sat there and traded with the Viper, then I'm great. That other guy would have had a chance to actually win that, or at least slow it up enough for Viper to kill the E50. But yeah, you got in that situation.
He effectively took the T10 out of the game.
Yeah, because he was just spinning his turret around. Trying to get his gun on target. Well played. That was actually, on BK's part, though, extremely close for being a tank down. That was really good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And they're doing well for being a tank down. But, well, I'm not going to bang the drum on it. You know where you are on that. Again, good damage. And chapping the BK T10 did really, really well. But consistent damage again on the NB team.
He connected on almost every shot he took. Out of 10 shots, he penetrated 8 of them. I mean, that's a good day out of a T10. That's all you can ask for right there.
Seriously.
Death Dealer in the E50 there, regardless of his end damage, won that match in the end. He turned the tide that BK had pegged back and just swung in. They were not able to finish him off, and it was a beautiful contribution to the team by him.
All right. What team is up next? Teams.
Us versus 36 Panzer.
Oh, nice.
12
So
Panzer,
that's why you
whatever you
hopped
wanna
in. You
call
didn't
it.
actually want to talk to us. You just wanted an early seat. Feels bad.
Yep. So yeah, we'll
Are
be
you
up
playing?
next.
Are you playing?
Yeah, I'm
Bud, or are
gonna
you
play.
coming to-
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're going to
play.
play. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it should be a good
Thanks,
game. I'm
Cowboy.
excited. We're gonna have our we'll probably have our top team here tonight. So
Good. 36
Well, rank
Panthers.
number-
you guys
Pretty
short,
solid
but-
team. Should be fun.
Rank 2, I think you are in the silver division. Is that right? And 36 Panzer rank
yeah,
7.
something like that. Yep, something like that.
Yep, we're going to take a short
36
break here,
Panzer
guys.
hasn't-
Let everybody get filed into the room here, and we should have some fun. Go ahead and keep
You
All right,
got some
guys.
tunes on.
I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go round everybody up and get them ready.
Yep, good luck. We'll
Sweet.
be watching you.
Thank you.
You guys can keep talking here. I'm just doing some work.
Yeah, we'll get Jibber over there. But,
I'm thinking
Got
I'm
to
gonna call the
got-
first couple of games, and then Wits will take over.
Good. It's a good thing to mix it up. Either like you also, both of you could call a side of the map or something. Just let everybody get a hand in.
Are we live right now?
Yes, sir. I always love that question.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much.
so it's almost
Because I know
always
I
as soon
don't
as
know if
asked
this
that, I
is
know
a
it's
small
like I'm about to
pause.
say something. As soon as I ask that to like Hells or something, I know it's because I'm about to say something really questionable, and so I need to know the answer. You can just
Yeah,
ping
as
us on Discord.
unquestionable, it was going to be a couple of my strategies, so I'm not going to say that.
Oh.
Yeah, don't tell.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Take
Yep.
care. Good luck again, bud.
Thanks.
But no, to round up on the matches happened there, I feel for BK, and yeah, an extra guy could have made all the difference in I could see in every single losing match away, if they had an extra tank, they could have won it.
Yeah.
I can see
Well,
it.
like, sorry.
That was finished, bro.
Oh, I was gonna say, like I think them being down a guy, I don't know, they very well could have. The two Cliff matches were hard to win, even if they had 7 because of the good spots NB took. Mostly the first Cliff. The second one could have been winnable for him. But that last Tundra game honestly could have very well been a win for them if they had an extra guy, because they played that really, really well. And their initial strategy wasn't even anything special. It was just the fact that they reacted to what NB wanted to do perfectly. And so that was really good to see. That was a
Totally.
really good awareness for them to fight that the way they did, where everybody kind of got back to back and didn't focus on one flank too much. The other one got free shots.
Yeah, and I agree. Definitely on the first match on Cliff from that side, you really need your full complement of tanks so you can push the corner and hold it. That was always going to be a loss, a man down against pretty much anybody. It's just everybody knows that side. Everybody knows what they have to do. And as soon as there were 2 tanks down on Cliff on that first side, and that was always going to be a major issue. Second one, could have won it. Didn't like the T10 moving away because, in my opinion, and it is only my opinion, as soon as the T10 was spotted, that basically caused NB to simply say, yep, we know what we're doing, straight in, done. But they played beautifully on Tundra. An excellent hold against a brilliant strategy by NB. That was an excellent strategy, the way they split forces, moved them in, Bulldog running in the spots, the Tier 9 bat chat doing a good job. Fair enough, didn't do huge damage, but the E50 play by Deathstalker? That was the individual play of the entire game for me. He deserves all the credit from his own team. That was a stunning
That
play
second
at the end there
Cliff-
to turn that back around.
If there was somebody else with that T10, I wonder if that would have turned out differently, right? Because, like, as they were climbing, if they both got spotted, what BK could have done is all of them pulled behind the buildings and made NB push, and then the 2 T10s could have just turned around and got side shots. Or, if NB didn't push,
could've.
both the T10s would have been able to kill the Bulldog and 54 and then set up their own crossfire. So I wonder if an extra
Absolutely.
guy would have made a huge difference there.
Absolutely, but what I would have suggested if you'd had the full guys was play the turtle with the 5 and send the T10 and another tank up immediately, and that would have met the Bulldog and other guys,
Yeah,
and then potentially
yeah.
given you the overmatch. Going late off that initial turtle on the 5 on that bottom side is always a bad move. You either go early or you don't go.
Yeah, that's true. I got that.
That's just my opinion, no, but that's what I felt about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But still,
The games
credit
were good
to them
watch,
for
though, regardless.
playing. Oh, they were all good, really, really good. Shame they had to play men down, and I'm sure they'll come back with a full team and try them again at some point. But very, very impressed with the strat on Tundra, the way they split that and held it, the T30 taking the aggressive lead in the corner, and he just held them down. He was taking hits, but he caused them so much problems. But again, I stand by the beautiful move by, I think it was Deathstalker in the E50. Either way, it was E50. That was a beautiful end game move.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because if he would have just started training with that T10, I mean, that was a losable game for NV. But him, focusing out the low health tank was a good call.
Yes. So well,
I know, right?
Chuck a little shout out to a little streamer Weasel. I say little and I stress little. We all talk about the ongoing political argument in the NFL, but in TLP we don't know if Weasel's taking a knee because he's so small we can't work it out. Hi Weasel, if you're watching.
That's funny. You guys make fun of him for that. That's mean.
It is mean. It is mean. It's
what's wrong with all good banter.
It's what's wrong with the world.
Do you guys actually know him? Like, if people have met him, right? So they actually know that he is short.
Oh yes. Kid plays hockey though, and like he always says, everybody's 6 foot tall and skates, and apparently he's damn good at it.
Yeah, a lot of those hockey players are very large people, but they're all very lean. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like football players and stuff because it's a very fast-paced sport.
Well, when I say he's little, he's solid for being little.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can really do, right?
I feel like I'm actually tipping towards abusing him now. I'm going to retract my statement.
It's been said. It is forever ingrained now.
I'm waiting for my phone just to light up with abuse directly back at me.
Yeah, that should happen in about 5 minutes. I think he's
I've got
actually at
messages
work. He'll
already.
probably watch it tomorrow morning, so maybe you'll be sleeping and you won't have to even deal with it.
Yeah, he's probably at work, and he's probably also sleeping.
No, I like Weasel. The stream's pretty good. I've been on there a couple times, as have you. I like it.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job for us, and we're looking at a little in-house 2v2 thing and working towards our other tournaments, but we'll be announcing all the details of that for ourselves to the rest of the guy, and Weasel will be running all that just soon, and we'll be looking towards building other tournaments, again with lots of other people's involvement, and yeah, trying to look towards more mini stuff in the bronze division as well, where we are in you guys' rankings, and it's all good in our opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the rankings that Hells does, he spends a lot of time on them, but they're a public thing, right? We want people to use them for stuff they're going to do. That's why they're there. They're not only there for us, but they're there for other people to get an opinion on stuff. And if you want to use them for your tournament, you can ask, but feel free to. We always like people to ask because it's just, it's nice. But if you want to use them,
and that's
perfect.
what we're
That's what
working
they're
towards.
there for.
Working towards asking you guys for some involvement in that type of thing. But a little 2v2 tournament, we're going to be putting details on our own Facebook page just shortly, and we're in a little quiet in-house thing because we've got a lot of guys and a lot of interest, and that's what we like to develop to try and push on. And you guys have been there, how you develop teams, etc. That type of thing, and a lot of guys are very positive and on board with it. Then again, we play a lot of games. Destiny's doing its thing and all the rest of it, but I was interested in how the chap that was in pants, as you called him, with his fantasy draft thing.
Yeah,
That's
pants
quite
on
cool.
the ground.
I'd never never even dreamed of that. That wasn't even in my wildest concept. It was quite cool. I read it on the thing and I thought, that's pretty clever. I wonder how it affects the meta of the game though. Will players be less inclined to be team-worthy and go for the big damage for themselves? I just wonder if it'll affect the meta of the actual competition.
I don't know. I'm sure if you have yourself on your list, you're gonna want to play as well as possible, right?
Yeah.
But no, Pants approached us, and it immediately, obviously, we can all recognize a good idea. And as soon as we saw that, I mean, that's like a wow. That's a really cool idea. I'd never seen anything like it.
Cool.
Super creative. And so, how can we pass on something like that? We wanted to help them as much as we could with that because it's just such a cool idea. There's no way we could avoid that.
No, you're absolutely right, and hopefully, if with the success of the first time around, it expands because it's just kind of cool. It really is.
Yeah, I know.
It gives the players in it kudos, one way or another, who's picked, how we're picked, and etc. I really like the idea. I was very impressed with it. I'd never thought of that at all. It was a bolt from the blue. As soon as I read it, I thought, that's just weird. Then I read it more and I thought, that's clever. Then I read it more and I thought, God damn it, that's got a little touch of genius.
Well, the thing I like about it too is it rewards like the person that's gonna win. Obviously, the person could just, somebody could be throwing a dart at a bunch of names and get lucky and win. But more than likely, the person that wins is gonna be somebody that's active in the community and knows things about the team and knows this guy's more of a supporting role and doesn't really do the damage, is more of a facilitator. So I'm not gonna pick him because he might not score as many points. And then like light tank drivers are graded on a curve, which means they get more points per damage because you do a lot less damage. So it's gonna really be, it's going to behoove you to know, like, oh, this person plays, like, I know this team, let's say Immortals, whoever their light tank driver is, like, I know their light tank driver's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to select him, knowing he's going to do a lot of damage.
Exactly.
Yeah, knowing he's going to do good damage and you're going to get extra points for it. Stuff like that. Like, hopefully somebody that's very knowledgeable is going to win it. I mean, or somebody just gets incredibly lucky. Either way, I'm happy.
Yeah, but again, if it develops, then you're right. You develop the list of that and the intrigue of it, and you develop that in the same way as the fantasy draft and the NFL or baseball, etc. type thing. You get that point clicker sort of type interest, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about it. It's just cool.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting little thing. I don't know. Pants has had a lot of decent ideas. Not decent, they've been pretty great, but I can't let him get too big of a head. But no, this fantasy draft thing, I'm really excited to see how it goes. I think it'll be interesting. I like the little competition, like when I was reading the forums, like people were jostling this one guy for picking himself as his #1 spot. Stuff like that I think is funny. It's putting a lot of your eggs in one basket. You better play well that night.
But again, though, on a smaller scale, definitely affects the meta of the team. Are we here to win, or are we here to score points for ourselves?
Well, especially if you were the captain, like if you're the caller, you could freaking, like, if you're looking through the list and you're like, oh, these 3 guys' names keep popping up. Nope, they're benched the whole night. Just ruin everybody's bracket. Yeah. Really throw a wrench into things.
Yeah, totally ruin it. Tonight, guys, we're playing 7-6-8, and I'm playing the waffle. You're what? Yeah, I'm playing the waffle. I need 2,000 damage. I need it. I need it badly.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be? You just see somebody like right in the beginning, they're just like pushing their teammates ahead of them as a shield, and they're just damaging people. Like, no, I don't need teammates. I need damage. Not interested.
It could be a good way to bring in the pub format to comps.
I don't think it'll be too bad for the fact that obviously damage is what wins games. Doing more damage than your opponent wins most of the time. And so with it being like 7v7 and there's some communication, I think there's less of a way to abuse teammates. Because normally when you're abusing teammates in pubs to do big damage, it's because you're just sniping off of them and letting them take hits. But that's harder to do in comp because they can yell at you in the party. Like in pubs, people you've never met and are never going to talk about. So, you sitting 50 meters behind them will get lit up, and you shooting, the odds of them being able to do anything besides messaging you is slim. But in comp, they could be yelling at you, and your caller's going to see that and not be thrilled. So I don't think you'll see people like pushing teammates into the line of fire to get a couple extra shots. But who knows? Maybe somebody really wants to win that tier 8 prem.
I agree with you. I don't think you'll get that, but there is that after 7-on-7 and you get down to that 4-on-3 and you're waiting for the map, that couple of RNG shots, that little thing that's going to make a difference. And you're full health, and maybe you've just been hanging back that a little bit, and you've got 2,000 damage in the bank. You think he could just die, and I can still mob up. I'm good.
I wonder if you'll see though people that have themselves on their own list, I wonder if it'll be a fight for them to, like, oh, tonight I want to play the E4. Why? Don't worry about it. No reason. I just like playing the tank. Don't ask me any questions. It's what I'm playing. I wonder if you'll see that for the people that have themselves selected as you. I want to play the Artie, or I want to play the E4. Just shut up and let me do it.
Yeah. There's no two ways about it. There will be some influence in the match caused by it. Slight or not, it will be there.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it adds a comedic effect, right? Hopefully it makes the matches pretty funny to watch because of stuff.
Well, it'll definitely cause some issues in commentary because you're going to be looking at those things from all those angles. It can't be helped. That's what commentators do. Just going to grab a drink, brother. I'm back in 2 seconds.
Yep.
I'll take this time really fast. Remember to go check out acornesports.com. Go get your nut on. You're enjoying commentary by Anarchy and also by Mark Jackson. This is Wednesday Night Fights, the flagship show. Thank you to all the teams that are coming out this evening, to all the people coming out to watch on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for coming out. Big shout out to Wargaming. Thank you for watching. I'll let you guys get back to what you were doing, and I'll just continue running the room and doing the stream thing.
That's what we keep you around for, Hells. Ooh. Is it loud? Now, hopefully Pants hops back in after this match is over because, like I said, I have to go before the next match starts because I've got a match of my own at some point. But hopefully Pants hops back in after this is over and can pick up where I left off.
Yeah, well, I'm here for the duration, if you all have me, and I'm enjoying it. It's really good fun.
Yeah, no, the first time we commented on Weasel's stream, I told you really should come out and commentate on our show because it was a really good time, and I'm glad that you had the time to spare and you came by today, and I hope it's something you continue to do in the future.
I will try, but like I say, obviously, basically I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm getting old, and to the day off work, and no place I'd happier to be tonight than coming commentating on the stream and throwing out my meagre volume of wisdom and general chit chat.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you very much. I wasn't looking for that.
Yeah. Typically, I'm usually the king of belated birthdays, but at least now I'm able to tell you early.
No, Hells will remember. He'll do it again in 2 weeks, too, just for continuity's sake. He'll message you like 2 weeks later, like, "Hey, happy birthday! I'm sorry I missed you."
These guys are getting close to picks, so we've got some nice picks here on the. I like the 12 Panzer setup with the double bat chats. 2E5, Chieftain. Oh, that's got a lot of movement and capability.
The tank.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, Mark.
So in 12 Panzer, we've got the double bat chats. E50, 2E5s. That's in the bank. 113, possibly a difficult tank on Prokhorovka, and the Chieftain there. And I'll let you take the other side, my man.
Yep, Nightmare's bringing an E4, an RU, an Object 140, a pair of TVPs, and a pair of E5s. Now, what that 113 looks like, right, is maybe going for a one-line push, because the thing goes like 50. So, I mean, it keeps up with mediums. And so if I was bringing a 113, it's because I'm pushing really aggressively down the one line early. Unless it's going to go play the edge of the town at, like, you know, E7 or G7, depending on what spawn they have. Because you don't need gun depression, and it favors a strong turret. So I don't know.
Yep, totally. Again, from the ranking perspective in the Silver Division, 36 Panzer ranked 7, and N are ranked 2nd. So let's just see how this goes.
Yeah. No, 36 is a strong team. Obviously, Nightmare is a very strong team, so
very strong team,
to say the least. Yeah, 36 Panzer, I feel like would be ranked higher, but they haven't, like, they don't play as often as N does. So, I mean, if they,
N's been considered for a gold level division team multiple times, but unfortunately...
36 Panzer?
No, N. But...
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately for N, when the crisis comes and the punches are due to be, to be thrown, they don't fare so well. So I've been kind of like a group agreements that let Nightmare keep getting some more experience in this silver division. Me and Pants had this discussion. Just they're top notch, but when it came to playing with the big boys, they kept falling short a little bit.
Well, honestly though, Nightmare has been getting better and stronger pickups exponentially. Like every week they're getting more and better players. They've been recruiting really well recently, and as has NB, which obviously feeds Nightmare. So I expect them to be a gold team eventually, but like you said, they just need a bit more experience. But no, I definitely think they'll eventually be a gold team.
Looks like N lined up for that one-line push and changed their mind.
Yeah,
I know that 113 went over there by himself pretty much.
Exactly what I was just going to say.
Well, Marine doing some great snipe work with that E50 though. So,
yep.
I know that's a weird pick, and I was going to comment on it, but it's been working for him because that E50 gun is so nice. I've been seeing him put shots.
I would have said the 113 was the strangest pick that I saw so far. However, due to basically both teams now changing their minds, we've got a great match on because everybody's trying now to compensate right across the board, and they're all doing a good job.
Well, honestly, the 113 worked out way better for 12 Panzer due to the fact that with that one tank, it stopped the entire one-line push. Like, as soon as they spotted him in the E50M, Nightmare just turned around. And, I mean, 36 Panzer was able to do that with basically one tank.
Big hit, and tank goes down.
Yep, donk going down there.
Still
Nightmare
even
on this
total
ridge
damage.
Is trading really well with 36 Panzer. Like, even though they kind of lost the one line, the 3 E5 or the 2 E5s and the Chieftain the 12 Panzer have, Nightmare's just trading better than them at the moment. And they also have a cross on them.
I'm starting to get excited about this. This is really, really good. This is one of those where straight away you think, oh, God, I wish there was a 10-minute timer.
Well, Dan the car guy's pushing up with an E50M in support. He's going to come, get in their grill, because if he let them sit there, those Nightmare guys are getting cross on their E5s, and so they got to do something, because, if you let that go, you're going to lose the game. So the 113's coming up to pressure to hopefully shut that down.
That E5's obviously a one-shot, as we're all aware, and if it goes, that might cause a swing in the push.
Oh, the bad AP's coming over.
Back.
I think he's going to come in for the finish on Pants. Oh, okay, yeah, aim it. Just don't let the E4 blast you. Oh, man. Still, I don't know if it was worth it for the kill shot to lose 3/4 of your health. I don't know if that's the best trade, to be honest. I mean,
you're right, but then again, as we all see, guns is more important.
I saw that. Yeah, that was one that sucks to miss.
And they've all got themselves spread it off right there.
Yep.
And then I think Jesus is going to come over and just kill the E5. He's just going to eat the shot and kill him. Never mind, not even eat the shot.
Definitely in N's favour now. They should be pushing this and finishing it off, and it looks like they're going to. That's what they need to be doing. Yep.
Honestly, this 113, I haven't seen him miss many shots. Like, every time I've seen him fire, it's hit. I feel like he and the E50M are going to have pretty decent damage, because they've been connecting a lot.
Totally, and like I say, it was the tank I singled out. It was potentially a strange choice, but he certainly stood up. Let's see his final damage, and it certainly seemed to be in the right spot for most of the match. Like you say, it did shut down the one-line push entirely by itself.
Yeah, I don't think like the 113 and the E50M were the reason why this game is going to be a loss. I think it was the fact that Nightmare just set up and played the middle better, and then their guys were able to support their middle fight where 36 Panzer guys were not, just because of the way the ridges are shaped. Because I saw the 140 shoot the E5s in the side a couple times, and I mean, that's annoying.
Totally. Yeah, and despite the end result of 4 tanks still being on the field on the opposing team, that was closer than the tanks left would give it.
Yeah.
Stonking damage in that E4. Look at that, 4,000 damage.
I told you, man. People are going to be fighting for that E4, especially when that fantasy draft night is here. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail to play that thing.
Polishing off on that side, consistent damage across the board, barring the Roo, but hey, the Roo's got to do something, and he did his job. I'll let you take to the other side, bro.
Well, no, I mean, the 113 did good damage. Not quite as much as I expected, but still nothing to shake a stick at. And the E50M put in shots, and that E5 brawled it out in the middle. I mean, pretty good damage spread besides that one guy that dropped a 0, but everybody else actually spread the damage out perfect.
But a phenomenal first match. This is going to be good.
Yeah. No, I told you before like this even started, just with these two teams, I knew it was going to be a great set of games. 36 Panzer comes out a lot on Fridays. Like they book almost every Friday. At least they have in the last couple weeks, but they haven't really been out on a Wednesday, so.
No, a fantastic first match, and that's what it's all about. Great compensation from both sides, and I feel I'm going to guess. I dare say that when they watch it back, both teams will say, "No, you're wrong," because that's the curse of the commentator. But I think that both teams changed their initial strategies after about a minute, and they went to compensation. Both of them did.
Well, Nightmare definitely did, and I think probably 36 did as well, because they might have wanted to take the one line and they couldn't. But it definitely looked like neither team really got what they wanted.
Yep. And on Prokhorovka, that often makes for the best battles.
Yeah, I mean, neither team played the cap, which is kind of interesting. You don't always see that. Like, literally neither team played it. They played it like it was a standard battle almost, you know? It didn't really look like an encounter. Because normally you see people over there, but, I mean, that was just as exciting.
No, it was a brilliant match.
Say welcome to all the viewers. So we got Rage out there, Wit, Magic's out there, Normus is out there, Bayside Plague's out there, and some other ones that have not joined in chat. Most definitely hit everybody up in chat. Have a good conversation with some of these tankers that are out there, guys.
Yep.
Let these guys pick their tanks so we can get this going.
Yeah. Did you see anything there, Hells, you want to commentate on? Or comment on, rather?
12 Panzer was seemed a little too... They need to crank up the aggression. They were hurry up and wait. I mean, yeah, they did. The 113 and them did their job. They stopped the one-line push. And they should have fell back off the one line once they dropped the spot, and then maybe, you know, did a surprise go. That 113 up in the village for base cap, it does an amazing job being an all-out brawler. It will out-brawl an E5 any day of the week, and so maybe getting that 113 over there. But you know, hey, each their own. It is what it was. I do believe 12 Panzer should pull out an E4 or a like thereof of a good DPM ED. So I guess there's not really a whole lot of those other than the E4 and maybe the 263. But yet again, in this type of format, the 263 is absolute garbage because everybody runs Prim.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
The 263 is not only does the armor not really count, but also the gun is so frustrating. Like, not the gun itself, but like it has no gun depression and the gun arc is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, the gun depression thing, it's like 3 degrees or whatever.
Throwing a weird one out there, despite the E4's all-round capabilities, an underused tank in this format is the E3, because if you're forward on and you're in your firing lane, you're almost unpennable, even with Preem in the front. Yeah, I get the thing that is going to die last and die horribly, but you can use that as a frontal assault vehicle so well in open maps like this that it's. I feel it's underused. I think it's a thing that maybe guys are missing the trick, because its frontal armor is shocking. Now your 113, chucking that towards the cap, you're going to suffer on gun depression, but an E3 could roll up there and dominate that area, as long as it's got cover from the left-hand side.
I definitely think on certain maps the E3 can be good, because it's got 8 degrees of gun depression, which is nothing to shake a stick at. And then, I feel like I already said that once tonight, but yeah, it doesn't really... the reason teams pick the E4 is because it can do both. It can defend and then attack.
Oh, yeah.
The E3 is really good on defense, it's less good on a push, but if you know you want to play it more conservatively and just get it to like a cap early, the E3 is strong. But like you said, when it dies, it's brutal because it's like, you know, watching a deer get killed by a pack of wolves.
Horrible, yeah, it is. It's terrible. Its side armor's terrible, but that big ass front armor, stick something behind it, give it some protection. I feel from a tactical bit, it's difficult. It's a turtle tank, but again, I would consider it. Even on this map, I'd consider it. But then again, I'm way lacking in experience at that format, and I'm throwing it out as a suggestion. But I can understand the difficulties of using it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate seeing more of them in certain strats because they really make the other team kind of like change their game plan to play against that. Because you know if you run into it in a place you're not expecting, I mean, that pushes over.
Yeah. But I did like the overall tank setups, and like you say, I was wrong about the 113. It caused the trouble in that line. It was good, solid, so fair play. So not much changes, not really. Pretty much the same, bringing in an object. I don't think the object was there last match.
On Nightmare's side, it wasn't. On 12 Panzer side, I do not think it was. 36 one more guy.
That'll switch up to more speed, so double back chats and a TVP and the object for Nightmare. Pretty much a speed
a lot of mediums.
setup. Pretty much a speed setup with the big E4 there to cause trouble, whether he sits back or whether he goes forwards, that's up to him.
You guys want to go ahead and go through tank run down real fast and launch this thing out?
I'll be real quick on the end setup. I'll do Nightmare E4, double back chats, object, TVP 50, 51, and the 2 E5s. So pretty much a speed setup with the big ass heavy counter over to you, my man.
And then 54 lightweight is 36 Panzer's bringing the 54 lightweight, object 140, an E50M, a bat jet, pair of E5s, and a chieftain.
I like Nightmare setup there. I fancy that if they can find the flank early. And yeah, I think 12 Panzer's going to have to interfere with their strategy early on. Otherwise, whoever they're pulling on the flank, if they can achieve it, this could be devastating.
Well, like what I'd like to see a Nightmare do with all those mediums and then their heavies is put the heavies down low by the cap and get your mediums on the flag and have your mediums kind of like overwatch your heavies. Because that way, really, any way they push, your heavies just turn their armor that way, and the medium tanks hopefully do the damage. Especially, like, the TVP is really good at that, because the gun is pretty nice, reloads quick, and punishes, you know, tanks making a mistake really hard. Bad APs are more or less better at, like, jumping tanks, because their sniping capabilities are pretty bad, but the 140 snipes. Like, if you put the 140 and the TVP on the hill, the bat chats roam, and then the E4 and E5 sit low, that might be an interesting strat.
Totally, and is the 140, is that the one that's got the best camo rating for the Russian mediums? Is it 140 or is
No,
it
I think the 430 does. The 140 reason why it's used is because of gun depression.
It's the 430. It's the 430. Yeah. Yep, you're absolutely
pretty much
right.
The 430 sacrifices everything for a little bit of extra camo and a little higher DPM, but it loses the gun handling that the Russian mediums have. Like, it's got really big bloom, slow aim time, whereas the 140 you can be moving at top speed and, you know, RBRT somebody across the map.
Ooh,
Nightmare's gonna have to be careful here. They avoid a quick cap.
Wow.
36 Panzer might all jump on the cap.
Yeah. So the strategy there was highlight to everybody by one tank and then throw everybody towards the cap, which is a cool move. Nice.
Yeah.
Run out there.
I would have liked to have seen 36 Panzer jump everybody on the cap sooner, but you know, basically making sure Nightmare comes in and attacks. But Nightmare has a lot of auto loaders, you know, so good burst damage to reset caps.
Totally, but we're down to 25 seconds, and these guys are going to have to make a shift rapidly because this is.
Look at the chieftain spot. That's going to be really good, actually. When he gets up there, if they try to come over the tracks, he's going to have free shots on him the whole time.
Very much so. A very well rehearsed strategy by 36, in my opinion. They've clearly played that before.
Yeah, and the bat chat's getting its clip out. He's actually connecting
E5's
somehow.
in a good position
My
as
bat
well.
chat doesn't do
it's
that.
going to cause so much trouble. They have to stop the
Vance
cap.
is getting
They're going to have
melted.
to sacrifice. Yep. They're going to have to sacrifice hit points.
The only thing
here.
is there's so many buildings on cap that it really makes you commit. And, yeah.
And they are,
It prevents a lot of crossfires and stuff because the buildings are in the way. But
Oh,
Rex going down,
Biggs.
double auto loaders.
Damage
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, that was
Impressive.
painful.
Both sides.
Hunters going down by everybody and their grandmother shooting at them. But now Nightmare, Jesus Christ, he's out of shells. He's on the reload.
Oh,
Green
wow.
just
40
got
seconds.
lost all of his
wow.
life in less than 4 seconds. He was at
Oh,
full
wow.
health.
Was that just everybody shooting him, like really good focus fire?
That and a fire. He couldn't. He
Yeah.
got double set fire.
Oh.
Yeah, they caught fire.
Oh no, cry every time.
A quality change of strategy by N. That was really, really good. Credit to 12 Panzer on the actual initial strategy, but what a brilliant counter! And they just strolled in there, and wow.
I honestly I really thought 36 was going to win that for the fact that Nightmare had to come in and play, but I think what happened is, like I said, those buildings on cap, I literally watched like 6 shells from 36 Panzer just get caught by them, and I mean, that's really, there's nothing you can do about that. It's really hard to tell where those buildings are when you're trying to shoot, and so I mean, that's the kind of thing
Yeah.
that those buildings gave Nightmare enough cover to actually get in there and get the reset they needed to win.
Absolutely, and as Hellscast called it, that fire was critical, I'm afraid. Jesus decided to just drop a little flame in that tank's ass and said, here, I'm changing this
I
for
saw
you."
2 fires. On that first E5 that died, he got set on fire, but he was dead regardless. But he did get set on fire. Oh, the fully loaded Batchat's coming in on Dirt Rider, who is not fully loaded. So he's going to kill him.
Another fire, but automatic fire extinguisher employed there.
Man, RNG, this game has taken no prisoners. Everybody gets a
He
fire.
is not. Yep, RNG has definitely turned up.
Oh, Donk
Oh,
just lost
Jesus.
his engine. Yeah, Donk just lost his engine. That hurts.
E4
That
just
again
absolutely
was a
obliterated the
fantastic
Chieftain.
match. Fantastic match. These guys are. I'm
Oh, the
assuming are just gonna.
Batchat's gun just blocked the 140's kill shot. I love
Sure,
that, the
they're
Batchat armor. And then he eats in his tracks. Oh man, the Batchat
Brilliant
survived
match
2 kill
again.
shots.
Kudos to both teams. Brilliantly worked strategy by 12 Panzer. To quickly recap that from a strat perspective, they ran everybody towards the cap, chucked out the little light tank to go and highlight to everybody while they ran to the cap. Smooth move on their part, and brutally
Look at
unlucky.
Nightmare's damage. 4 guys over
Yeah.
2k.
And TK Ninja and Donk holding in the back chat and the Chieftain 3,000 plus, both of them. Brilliant
And
match.
honestly, Pants
Great
got
match to
killed
watch.
so early too. Like Pants could have had a much bigger game, but he was like he was the front forward guy. Because he
Yep,
was getting
both
worked
the-
over.
Both the E5s and 36 Panzer will be disappointed with their output there, I'm sure. Great match. Congratulations to both teams. Loved that excellent strategy pull by 12 Panzer. I really, really enjoyed that. And I actually, even though I don't want to see a quick cap and a finish to the match from a stream perspective, if they'd got it, it would have been hats off to them. But N compensated so well and just rushed straight in at the right time, did exactly the right thing, and pulled it off. That was brilliant.
Yeah. No, that was a good set of games. And there's still one more left. I don't know what map it is, but
Is that 2-0 to N, yes?
yes, sir.
Yes. And the next map's already up.
Well, 12 Panzer are still in this. 12 Panzer are definitely still in this.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure
always
they're
have
feeling a
this
little bit
discussion
down.
when a team is down. Do you think they'll play better, or some teams, play much better with their back against the wall? And that's a thing. I mean, they could win 3 unanswered games right here. If they really
don't-
dial it in, if they can play well with the pressure.
Certainly from a strategy perspective, they've got it in them. I feel for them a little
Yeah.
bit in a focus fire, the way they pulled it off. I'm sure the way they positioned the E5s, they would have hoped they would have got more counter damage as the teams crossed the tracks there. I'm sure that they'll revisit that strategy and either have the E5s closer or in better position to get the cross damage. I'm sure they'll be surprised how little the E5s managed to get the punches in there. But I loved their brilliant donkey strategy there. That was a good fake call, and that's a good move. I was really impressed with it. Just Nightmare just compensated brilliantly.
Yeah. Burovanka. I like this map. I wonder if somebody will bust out the arty. I hope so.
You think so? Yeah.
Oh man, I love seeing the Artie on maps like this. I don't think Nightmare, like, they've never really shown a propensity to bring out Artie, but might be still funny.
Oh, I agree, it's definitely plausible. But again, whenever you see an arty, don't you just think rush? Don't you? Do you automatically think just rush them?
Well, that's why you bring like 3 E5s and an E3 so they can't rush like favorably, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or
because like
put it another
on
way,
standard, on encounter it doesn't work as well, but on standard, you put your Artie, like Artie from the north spawn is really the only place to take it. The south spawn kind of sucks, but you put your Artie in the corner at like A1, A2 in that dip. You put an E3 on the ridge at like D2, and then you put 3 E5s butted up against that ridge, and then your mediums go play the the forest, and as soon as if they push heavy forest, the mediums just fall back to buy the cap in those huge bushes and like keep them locked down and let the Artie farm them. And if they try to push 1-2 line, you know, you got an E3 in the back, can't do anything about it, and you got 3 E5s.
Okay, copy, but then at the same time you could rush your arty to K1 and put a conch or another tank like the conch on the hill and just in front of it to cover the main line and just hole in that corner, to be fair. I hear you though, if you're playing arty, but I think you would potentially see more artillery being pulled, whether you're interested, whether you're not, from a fog of war perspective, because if the fog's on, there's more chance of people playing those dummy plays.
Well, like, the only thing I don't like about Artie from the south spawn is I'm sure it can work, but you don't have, like, on the north spawn, there's a huge bowl that's like 15 feet lower than the rest, so you really can't get spotted. From the south spawn, their mediums can spot you with a bit of luck, and so I've lost, calling on Murrow, I've lost Artie a couple times really early on south spawn, but never on north. But I'm sure it can work from south, you just gotta play it a bit differently.
I completely agree, you've got much more potential of just dying early, but the 53, 55 could get to that corner. I would have a hope. It'd be a chance play. I completely agree with you. You're more likely just to get snotted out. But if you're going to play it,
yeah,
you could chuck it into K1 and you could cover it if he makes it. But that's a coin toss.
Yeah.
And again, you're more experienced in how you'd play that, but yeah, Muravanka is potentially an anti-map. I doubt these guys are going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never run Encounter. I've never seen really an Artie get picked, so I wouldn't risk it, but...
Again, you pretty much hit the nail on the head at the beginning, because we... Go ahead, Hellscath.
Oh, I've always wanted to get, like, say, okay, you have your two bad chats, say in this format, so you would run your E3, and then 2 E5s. And then for your 4 other tanks, run 2 Bat Chats and 2 50Bs and run them through Enchanted Forest like a madman with a purpose.
Yeah, I've never seen a 50B pick on this map, and it could be actually pretty interesting. Because, I mean, it's very fast. I've only ever seen 50B picks on, like, Himmels.
But, I mean, you go through and you literally bum rush. I mean, the clippability, just let alone, so you're guaranteed 2 tanks gone, and then the mobility, you could probably scoot out of there. I mean, not everybody's going to send a whole bunch of people to the forest, but having those auto loaders on the backside, it's just something kind of different to see with the 50B coming out.
Totally.
It's also a call you got to make with their team lineup. Like, if they have like 4 or 5 mediums, might be a better idea to not play Forest because you could get screwed. But if they only have 2 or 3 and you have 2 50Bs, there's a real chance of you winning Forest.
Yes, there is. But again, if you see the 50B right there in front of you, then arguably the easy counter is simply huckle over to behind the hill and down the 1, 2, 3 line, because it takes away the clip, because they have to come to you.
Alright guys, go ahead and go through the tank run-ups here, and we'll get this game 3 going.
So, Nightmare, E4 again, of the pick. Double objects, double bat chats, E50 and E5 again, pretty much a speed layout with the potential for drawing back, and yeah, I like it. What about yourself?
You called Nightmare, you said, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading. They're going with the 54 lightweight again, an object 140, a bat chat, an E100, pair of Chieftains and a 50B. That is an interesting lineup, and I'm excited to see how it works out.
Very much
E100.
so. E100, yeah. Curious.
Did you see who's playing the E100?
Again,
Because remember last time 12 pounds
No, I didn't.
played an E100, that dude was a beast in it.
Oh, really? No, I didn't even see.
Oh yeah, that's because you've been missing. Oh yeah. I am Mr.
Wow,
Destiny
I've been
player.
around.
Rip.
No,
And let me
I've been
see, let me
around.
see.
I'm always around.
Nope, it's not. Okay. But any which way, there was an E100 being played on Monday or Friday. And dude, the E100 ended up being the monster of the day, man.
That's kind of
Again,
cool.
you'd have to assume if they're doing the E100, they're going to push the corner into the encounter with that. Regardless of the fact it's an 18 plus show, I won't see what we call the way into that encounter. Oh, right. Different setup. Right, I get it.
Interesting.
Right, so definitely a big field push by Nightmare. Predictable, but
Well, they got a lot of
Perfectly
mediums,
good.
so it's not. Yeah.
but again, like I was suggesting, all you need to do realistically is get behind that hill from Trail Panzer, and you can wait for them. And as long as that E100 gets there, he might get caught here. He might get caught. I think he's going to make it. Yeah, he's going to make it. If they get behind that hill, then that, in my opinion, generally annuls the push to the forest. We've got Chieftain and the 50B set up nicely. That E100 still coming forward. He's still breaking on. No, it's kind of stalling a little bit. I would keep that E100
36.
moving. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
they know these mediums are coming, so they're turning. You know, they're fighting a two-front fight here in a second. So it'll be interesting to see where Nightmare tries to focus their main push.
Yep.
I think you're gonna see them come up the middle gap, like Jesus, Dirt Rider, Dola. They're all gonna come up this middle bit.
Yeah, Shaq.
Absolutely.
And this
no
140
offense,
is
buddy, but
completely
you're
caught out.
screwed.
Oh, he actually might get away. That E5's blocking for him. That E5 kind of got in the way.
Ooh, big chase down.
I guarantee
Oh, bang.
Hells he was making that exact same noise you just made that entire time. Like, I guarantee that's all he was doing. Was just
Oh,
making
I
like that
completely
noise when
agree.
you're not sure if you're going to be able
There
to get out
was
of it.
1,200 health off of Epic in less than 2 seconds. How to delete
Gotta love
it.
the focus fire.
Yep. How to delete an E100 Nightmare style.
Yeah, that's just the E4 for you, plus 16 other tanks. Oh, Smirnoff taking a pretty big punishment for that, though. He wanted to get in there, and he paid for it.
Ram. Nope.
Oh, the E5 Ram, but he didn't get it. He died before. That's too bad.
50B.
The 50B is reloaded. He's got to start
Here
shooting.
we go.
50B is focusing out Dola instead of the two-shot E5. It's a little bit of a interesting
Oh,
focus
and he
fire.
wastes the last shot on.
Picked it up.
Come on, 12 Pants, I'm rooting for you.
Dog's gonna come up with a clip. The 50B is gonna get away in enough time to reload.
Hard lines, guys.
The bad chat would need to set like 3 fires right now to set up the clutch for the 50B, but I don't think it's in the cards.
No.
He's gonna get
Is it a
Dola
draw?
though.
Call it a draw.
Oh, watch out! The E4's got your side turret. That stings a bit. 942. Plus, I'm pretty sure the turret's jammed.
Yeah, it looks like it. Batchat's moving in almost. Yep, he's reloaded.
Oh, he bounced
Silver.
or missed that. Either way.
Full clip. That's an always losing situation against the Batchat. Bang, bang, bang. Here
Yeah.
it comes.
That was again a well-orchestrated push by Nightmare. If they would have come over the top, where this 50B is right now, where they wanted them
rip.
to, it wouldn't have turned out well.
Oh, the Batchat. The Batchat
Wow.
only had 2 rounds.
Oh no! The only thing is the bad AP Dirt Rider's coming in fully loaded, so. Nice. Oh.
Oh,
There it is.
Yeah,
Remember,
that
it takes a
was
3 out.
played.
We're way ahead of schedule this
3
evening.
out.
They were
Way
even a
ahead
little
of
slow on their
schedule.
tank picks, but once they got in the match, it was very quick.
It was. Very even damage dispersion on the end team, with the exception of a phenomenal performance in the Object 140, in my opinion. 3,000 damage in an Object 140, that's punching way above your weight in that team setup. Solid stuff in 12 Panzer as well. I feel for them, I really do, because I really feel again in that last match they had a solid strategy to begin with. I don't know why they turned to E100, they should have kept on pushing on. I think they changed their tactic. And I think we've all been there, but great matches. All three of them games were phenomenal to watch.
They really were. I mean, like I said, the 3-0, or not like I said, but I think we talked about it before. The 3-0 score here doesn't do those matches justice at all, because either one of those was winnable for 36 Panzer at a lot of different points. It was just Nightmare made sure that didn't happen. But congrats to both teams. That was a lot of fun to watch. 36 Panzer, always appreciate you coming out. Nightmare, you know, we appreciate you coming out as well.
Yeah, and a confident performance from Nightmare. Just, you know what, for me made the difference was just confidence in their own ability. That made the difference. I really do feel 12 Panzer actually, arguably, on Prokhorovka, potentially, had the better strat, especially on that second map. And I'm just going to say, I feel they just compensated better, and 12 Panzer, at the very least, got a positive learning experience there. And yeah, that was really, really good. Yep. And if the match that follows that comes close to that from a watching perspective, it's been a hell of a night.
No, I think perhaps, like, obviously Pants is the caller for Nightmare, and Wits also was calling, but maybe Pants is just a little bit better under pressure once the bullets start flying there, and was making better calls in the heat. But I definitely agree, 36 Panzers, a lot of their initial setups were really strong, and it was just Nightmare was just kind of knew how to beat those strats, I guess. But no, 36 Panzer's initial strats were really solid. I liked them. Hells, Dexter's gonna open the next room, okay?
Oh. I've already got on your 6 and
Unless
all
you
those
don't
guys that are in here.
Oh, I mean, he doesn't have to. I just figured it'd be easier for you.
It's okay. I've got everything under control.
Okay, then I'll just invite him here. He doesn't need to do it. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
You want to see if you can also get Pants in here?
Yep. Dexter, you don't need to open the room. Hell said he already has it started. He's just going to do it. But you're more than welcome to come commentate.
That's because I want to say good night.
All right, buddy. Go to bed, man.
I just, I didn't see too many people in the party, so I was like, wonder if they need a mod.
Well, we always need Dexter. Regardless if you're modding or not, we always need you. Just remember that.
Nice to see you, Dexter. How's it going, brother?
Good with yourself, Mark?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really enjoying tonight. It's been really, really, really good. Very, very fun experience, and I've learned a lot watching some of these guys' strats. Win any golf tournaments lately, bro?
Somebody get Pans an invite
wish.
to the party. He wants to come commentate.
Yeah. I got him.
I wish I already got a golf, but yeah. Well, good night, everyone.
Good night, buddy.
Take care, my
Hey,
man.
thanks for gracing the stream with your presence. It's always a pleasure.
All right, guys. So this is what we got going on. Go check out www.acornesports.com. If your kid needs another backpack for school because the little guy lost it again, well, go over there to Acorn Esports, pick up a tank one for him, and make it a little bit more stand out. Put your team logo on it. So that means if you see another kid rolling around with a backpack, go tell your kid to go trip him and kick him in the head and give me back my backpack.
Yeah, if it's a team you don't like. Nothing wrong with it. Hells, have you
So-
ever had a kid lose a backpack? I feel like that's an inconvenient thing to happen. I don't know how that would happen.
I would have
Yeah,
to say
kids.
I have wasted hundreds of dollars on backpacks.
How do you lose a backpack, man? It's attached to you. God dang it.
I don't know. Ask my
you've
3
also-
kids.
It's like they're
You've
trying
also
to get
got-
in spite. Like they get together and like you go to clean their rooms one day, and their closet just has like
Sleep
6 backpacks in it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're really getting him with this one."
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man.
The other-
Okay, so I had 3 kids in school, two backpacks a year, and of course, they couldn't just get the regular, Walmart or Target or well, not Target because Target's or anything that the ones for like $6. Oh no. Oh no. They had to be the special ones that lit up and danced. And then they're like, I don't know why they got stolen. I don't know, maybe because it was a $30 backpack that you talked your mom into. And now some other kid's now going to use it for next year because they're like, I'm not going to wear this thing. They'll steal it back. So just go over to Acorn Esports, check it out, get your nut on. Remember, do it under the Wednesday Night Fight community, and you'll get 2% of sales go back to Wednesday Night Fight, which means 2% of sales go back to the community for you guys. So, getting everything set up here. I need to find out what maps that these teams want, and yeah.
Yep.
The other positive of buying one of those backpacks is if you fill up the books, you've got more armour than the average M41 Bulldog.
You
Think
do.
about that.
You honestly do. I know there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. There's stuff with the WCL and whatever they're doing. And then there's stuff over at UGCC. They're getting ready to do Season 3. And then I know over at Clan Wars, they're getting ready to fire all of it up. But you know what? It doesn't matter because Fantasy Draft, October 4th. Who's going to be your Tom Brady? And who's going to be your Ezekiel Elliott? Get it done. Go over-
Can we
Dola.
can we deflate the balls?
1977
Can we
is going to
deflate
be
the
my
balls?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, you can deflate the tanks. They all got to start with half hit points.
Sweet.
So go over there, check it out. If you want a link, it's right there in the WNF hub. Go right there, Fantasy Draft 2017. Give her a click. It will give you a link, which I'm going to post now into the Twitch. So there you go. Go check it out. Hit up that Fantasy Draft. Go get your Tom Brady on. Get your J.J. Watt. Go get your play Matthews. If you'd like the Packers defense, well, go make yourself a hell of a defense. But if you want somebody on offense, pick your Tom Brady. Pick your Ezekiel Elliott or Matt Ryan. Get it on. Check it out. And then also, yet again, all the music that you're hearing tonight is thank you from Flying Tunes. It's all copyright-free music. You can jam out to it all day long. They have all of your music listening needs. If you like rock, metal, dubstep, hip-hop, doesn't matter. Go check them out. And it's all copyright-free music. A whole bunch of artists just doing this for the community. So go check them out on YouTube. Flying Tunes, copyright-free music. All right, there we go. Got everybody back. I did my advertisements for this half hour.
I'm going to go take a nap.
We're going to do a quick intermission, let these guys talk. And then looks like both teams are slowly filing in, almost done.
Hopefully On Your 6 remembers the 10 people rule because they always came out in force.
I did drop it in the lines, so.
Yeah.
And
Well, tonight's 10 o'clock match, and obviously you are a little bit ahead of schedule. But I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
Being on the wrong side of the pond for 10 o'clock. But UGCC, 9th in the Gold League versus Honor 6, ranked number 1 in the Silver Division. I believe that's accurate. And looking forward to this. Looking forward to this.
Well,
big
On Your
style.
6, On Your 6 definitely should be and will be a gold team. They played a lot really well for a bit, and they took a couple month break, and while they were on break, the rankings came out. I apologize. And so they've been steadily climbing, but they will certainly be a gold team very soon. So this game is going to be very, very good. UGCC is the winner of the Battle of the Clans thing. They actually beat NFTG in the finals just last week. So UGCC is definitely a serious team, and as is On Your Six, should very well be an interesting set of games. And I wish I was going to be able to watch it, but it's not to be.
Well, I miss you, Anarchy, and it was awesome stepping out with you. Yeah, that was real fun, man. And enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and I'll see you soon-ish.
Yeah, we're eventually going to set up a data stream for the EU guys, and I hope when we do that, it's a time you could come out and commentate, because we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I always try. I mean, like I say, I can pop onto this one once every 6 weeks, if you guys will have me. But generally, while I'm working, I can only really do the early matches, obviously. I'm 6 hours ahead of the average guys.
Yeah,
I do
it's
enjoy
just,
it.
I mean,
It's
anything
good
you come
fun.
out, it's appreciated.
Yeah, totally. I'd love to do it. I do enjoy it. It's fun. It's a learning experience. It's a hangout thing. It's chill time for me. Take a break from all the rest of my worries.
Anarchy, can you stick around just for like 5 minutes so I can walk away real fast? I'll be right back.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, just when you come back, I'm going to hop out. It's not a big deal.
All right, I know I'm taking away from your D2 time, but give me a moment.
No, I'm good. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But no, those matches were really good to watch, Pants. Your team played really well. 36 Panzer, like we said, if you want to go back and watch the stream, a lot of 36 Panzer's initial setups were actually really good.
I watched every game, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of their initial setups were strong positions, and yeah, I definitely think their calls initially were really good. It was just Nightmare figured out how to break it and how to get in there and how to beat it. But
Yeah, that
36
second
Panzer,
game
they
on
said
Proc.
they were... Yeah.
That wasn't our
good
original
move, that one.
plan. That was not our plan,
No,
by the way.
I know.
Our
definitely
plan
wasn't.
was we were going to send a TVP on top of the hill. We were going to straight
Yeah.
up push that side of the map actually with everybody else. But when our E4 spawned all the way across the map, we didn't want to risk them coming from that side of the map on him. And we knew he wouldn't be able to make it in time, so we just said, screw it, we'll start heading this way. If they go for a quick cap, we'll cut across. I'll take the brunt of the damage. I said, but you guys got to back me up. And that's what they did.
Yeah, that's what they did. From the stream perspective, and as I always say, very easy to watch from high on the hill. But I feel for them from their E5s where they positioned them. I thought they would have done you more harm when you came over the train tracks. And they just
The
didn't
hard
get
part
that in.
is those buildings.
Yeah.
They would have got me if I didn't get behind it. And I got behind
When
it.
you
Not
go
only
back
that,
and
but
watch
then
the
they got a
game,
depression.
I commented
Depression's the other big
all
issue.
of that. Like, their chieftain got into an awesome spot, but I said those buildings are going to be like their undoing because they pretty much prevented a ton of damage. They blocked like 10 shells, those buildings. And there was just a lot of shots they couldn't do because those buildings were in the way.
They needed to have their 3 guys capping in the very back of that. They were too far
Yeah.
forward. And that really just, that was their fate. If they were actually behind those buildings, it would have been a different ballgame because I wouldn't have been able to reach them. I would have had to have stayed in the cap and they would have got shots on everybody behind me.
Yeah, but the way you cross
You
the
really
train
got
tracks
abused coming
with
in,
the whole
though.
team. Yeah, it was really good because I would have laid $50 before he made that move that you would have died, all of you as you came across. And
I don't know
I'm
how
glad
I
I didn't
did.
make that bit happen. Yeah.
And of course, I was
No,
trying to use that dead
definitely.
E5 as cover from the guys on the hill, and they still got me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, that chieftain spot was really good, and I had said on the stream at the beginning of one of the matches for there, I said I really liked the idea of putting a TVP or something on the hill because the gun is good enough to do it. And it's just a strong spot for him. But yeah, I didn't know that's why you guys changed your initial strap.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk losing the E4 right off the bat. I was just afraid he was going to be able to make it in time. Not only that, but in order for that to really work, he needs to be there. If he's not there, it's just pointless to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
And there's
fills
no way
the
he's catching
gap
up.
between. Totally, and that fills the gap between
Right.
our best guess and what you decided to do, because what you said there makes sense and how you managed to compensate quickly, because I couldn't see it on cut. I was like, nah, this is just not going to work for them. They're just going to get mauled. And no, you pulled it off brilliantly.
Yeah, we practice a lot too, and that's another big help. We practice at least 2 or 3 times a week. And we do have a fairly new team. We have a couple of new guys on our team. They're a big help, and they are some great players. But the more we play together, the better off we are with each other. And I think we're starting to come into that finally.
Yeah.
Totally. So could I take you back to the first match in Proc just for a second?
Yeah.
In our opinion, or certainly my opinion, the early part of the match when it was set up, it looked like both teams, in my opinion, changed their strategy entirely after the initial meeting of the tanks. The 113 being down on one side, shutting down the 1-2 line, and after that, it seemed like both teams really modified their strategies. Did you choose just a compensatory strategy after that, or did you go with something?
It was more of a wait and see what they do type of look. The minute we knew they were there, it was more of a let's just wait and let them make the mistakes. Let them come up and try to take shots at me, and let me try to bait them into coming over that hill and getting popped by an E4 that's sitting in the back. So it was wait for them to make a mistake, and then once they made enough mistakes and we feel like we can go in there and get them, that's what we did. So the minute that we knew we had the hit point advantage on the left, the guys on the right just held out long enough for the guys on the left side to finish them off.
Yeah, and I would guess, again, we being a very practiced team and experienced, do you feel in general, on maps like Proc, whenever we choose to do initially, compensating and letting the other team make the mistakes is simply a standard move? Would you say that experienced teams do that more often?
Yeah, you really have to play to your advantage, and I think you have to look at your tank makeup and know that, you know, if you have a bunch of mediums and you don't have any heavies, fighting at that point of that part of the hill is going to be tough to do. So you really have to play to your tank strengths, and you have to know, being a caller, you kind of have to know what everybody's tank strengths are and what that tank is capable of doing, and put them in the best spot to succeed. And do it as a team.
I hear you. And then again, on exactly the same point, would you say that again on a map like Prokhorovka or an open map that's simply easier with a medium setup like you had?
Yeah, just so you guys are aware, that's my favorite map to call on is Proc.
Okay. A lot of things you can do.
Yeah, there's so many different setups.
There's really no wrong strength for Proc.
And there isn't. And yeah, in the open maps, it's easier with a lighter lineup than it is a heavier lineup. You can get the mediums in and out fast enough. The only thing that's tough is if the other team goes for a straight up cap right off the bat and you're on the wrong side of the map. That's the only time where things can go awry. You start to panic a little bit when you see those cap numbers dwindling down.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. That was good knowledge for me, and I can certainly understand how you played that out. Think about what you said there and how you compensated in that first one.
Yeah, in that second game when they had the cap, I knew that I couldn't stop. I just had to keep going, and I had to get to the cap. Either if I didn't get inside it, I had to hit somebody in there. I knew I was going to die. It wasn't a question. I'm going to die.
You actually lived a long time, though, and you did pretty good damage.
I lived a lot longer than I thought I was.
Yeah, I really thought as soon as you went over the top, it was going to be like, okay, they're down to pants. But you actually survived a long time and did a good bit of damage. It was very
if I can get their autoloaders to shoot at me, if I can get those guys to clip out, then the rest of my guys can get in there and get on the cap and take care of the guys in the cap and then figure it out from there. Really was that was the other main idea.
Yeah, shot caller.
Somebody's got to go.
If you can't do anything, then die first.
It's also a bit easier to call when you're dead. To be honest, you don't have anything else to focus on.
It is. It is. For anybody that's never called before, I can't describe to you how tough it is to call and play at the same time. To worry about 6 other people and then worry about yourself doing damage. It is tough. If you've never called, I highly recommend you try it at least once.
Yeah, almost all of my lowest damage games have always come when I was calling, because it's just very hard to do damage, to be honest.
A lot of guys that have never called and they try calling, you will notice that they just stop calling halfway through the match and they just go silent because they're so focused on what they're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're used to just playing,
just trying to kill
they
people.
Go back to their roots.
They don't realize what's going on around them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's really okay. All right. Well, thanks for having me, Hells. I will talk to you guys later. Good luck with the matches. They're going to be obviously great. 2 great teams playing. So, I will talk to you guys later.
Okay. Good night, brother.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So I just got to confirm one thing, which I'm really sure that there's probably no specs.
I couldn't argue with either way, brother. However, while you're confirming that, I'll just quickly nip through the tank lineups.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we have for UGCC 1390, good call on this map, an Overlord. Batchat, backing him up, I assume. Triple E5s and 2 Chieftains, so that's a solid lineup. Pants, would you like to take the 1 or 6 lineup?
Yeah, so on your 6 is going to run within E4, the RU251, the T62A, the TVP, T5051, and triple E5s.
What do you think about the T62A on this map?
It's a good tank overall. I'd much more prefer the 140 just for that little bit better depression.
So would I. I think that's potentially, but again, the guy could be amazing in it. I just feel that he's either going to have to be stellar or potentially that could be a weakness. I always like to try and look to single. If I was an opposing team, I'd say that 62A, either we get him early or he's not going to be a problem. Triple E5s is standard on both teams.
Segmented Dig said no specs.
Oh, originally this.
One team agrees, one doesn't.
Take your time, double check. But again, while we're chatting about that, again, triple E5s, depending where you go. TVP, Batchat, yeah, that's a close
Yeah,
run
it's a
thing.
tough. You see a lot of the standards. You see a lot more Batchats than you do TVPs. Personally, I'm starting to get more towards the TVP than I am the Batchat. Just even though it's not as fast, I just think it's overall pound for pound the better autoloader.
Yeah, or arguably, I think another consensus would be it's a good tank to beat the Batchat.
Yeah, that burst damage is no joke.
All right, guys, so here we go.
It's a good counter for it.
Primetime show now on Wednesday Night Fights. Beef set up a good matching here of on your 6 UGCC. So here's the triangle of the deal. All right, so UGCC beat NFTG, but NFTG beat On Your 6, and this has all been in the Battle of the Clans and Clan Wars and across the border, just about everywhere. So this is going to settle it. After all, who's the better team? Kind of in that little
UGCC's heavies got a terrible spawn at the bottom of that hill for those heavies. That's gonna hurt.
Absolutely did.
I hate this.
So looking
map.
at a friendly grudge match. I like Overlord, but I feel it's two-dimensional. There's really, in my opinion, only 2 ways to play it. You go hard left up the one line, or you go hard through the middle. That's my opinion, and as much as I could say about it. But again, all these teams are way beyond my level as a player and as a caller. So I'm really interested from a learning perspective to watch their early setups. I like more what Honor are doing right now in their initial setup. I like that more.
Yeah, they're not being too aggressive because they don't know that the heavies all spawn on the bottom of the hill and they're still trying to get to the fight.
Yeah, they would. They're going to overlook now and be like, "Oh, we could have destroyed them."
Yeah, they get up there a little quick. Those heavies are in no position to help at the moment. They're almost there.
All right, they're almost there now. So it's been kind of
obviously again
a poke back and forth. Just seeing they want more info, more intel.
Yeah,
knowing
absolutely.
where the rest of those heavies are.
You see that so often in what we call a grudge match, a friendly grudge match regardless. Everybody likes to know where everybody is before they commit. So even though we can see plainly that T62A could have pushed on the 3090, it didn't happen, and that's understandable.
All right, so on your 6 over here.
They got to be careful. They're going to get pinched.
They got to rotate here. Everybody's in the pool that you could say now. All right, we got damage being traded. Revenge of the Nerds up there. Nerd kisses girls. Getting a couple of rounds of that clip off and connecting.
Here's a push from the south. All of the E5s are going to turn this corner and are going to cause trouble. They're all going.
Oh yeah.
They're pushing straight in.
Rear shots.
Well, they're bumping at each other a little bit. And they're committing to that side. Oof. And it didn't work.
Chieftain took a big hit too.
Diggs taking a pretty good job of angling his tank, making him not pin him. I mean, he's still alive, but
yeah, Honor 6 should push in on that bottom side.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got to go. Should push in on that bottom side.
Mediums.
And Honor needs to respond.
DVP's going down.
Yep. Oh, fantastic! Brilliant concentrating fire by Honor there. They need to keep pushing that chieftain, get him out, and then mop up. Really, in my opinion, right now. But obviously, things could change.
All right, let's see if UGCC is going to rotate out. Oh, they're going. Pedanji peeking up there too much. Crooklyn's got to get out of there so he could get back into a position to help his other teammates here. Cav's going to be reloaded, and he's going to have butt shots. Is he going to take out Cutter? Nope. I think that's a mistake. Oh, Cutter missing that clutch shot.
62A being ineffective.
Yeah, they're going to pick on that E5.
He's
all by himself.
UGCC's really taking a commanding position here. They don't want that 1390 to get behind them.
So close.
Oh, Cutter looks away.
Oh, devastating. Both sides. Wow, return fire.
Crooklyn coming
Here
in
we
now.
go. This is it.
Ooh, Cutter
End
getting
game.
a good round into Cav Ranger, but BK Fly Kid is on a mission.
My money's on Honor 6 right now, but hey, we'll see.
That bat chat's loaded, and he's got side shots on that T62.
They've got to finish this. Still close. Guns are even. Bat chat on a reload. Oh yeah, that's
Over into the rock.
I think he swapped over to some HEs.
62. 62 has to push in and get rid of that bat chat.
Oof.
He knows he has to. Surely he does. He's not doing it.
Oh,
and he
gets
missed.
stuck.
Gun depression on that tank, big problem.
All right, there we go. BK trying to get his tank around. There you go.
Should have just stayed behind him.
Now we're gonna have a fight.
Oh,
Who can pin who? 3-star versus 2-star.
he's made a mistake there.
Oh, bolt bounce.
He got away with it. He got away with that. That was fortunate for him. 3-shot versus 1-shot though.
Hopefully this
Not
looks
2-shot
beautiful on your screens, guys. I hope you guys have it cranked up. 1080p.
An amazing scrap. 1 minute. It's
bounce.
not impossible. This goes to a draw. It's not impossible.
my
Oh, and
goodness.
the ammo rack.
Wow. E5 versus E5. This is how it's done, guys. Watch your stream. This is how it's played.
Oh, lasers. Oh my goodness.
Use it, use it, use it, use it. Yeah, he's got it now. Surely it's advantage to him.
Oh, another bounce.
He's not taking advantage of it. Oh, he's
He
turning
just needs
it
to get
back.
in there and get around.
Oh, there
Yes,
it
it
is. Oh,
Wow, that was
wow.
close.
Great job.
Came down to the wire.
An
one-on-one.
amazing end battle. An amazing battle, full stop. I've got to check that
First game
damage.
doesn't disappoint.
Nah, it doesn't. I'll take the Honor 6 side, my man.
BK.
So
Oh my god.
we have
BK.
lasers
46.96
with 3,200
Oh, lasers, yeah.
and consistent damage across the rest. I dare say the 550. It's a 550. I'd like to take the other side pants on UGCC.
Well, on UGCC, I'd say their big difference maker was BK. Cav Ranger also in that bad chat doing 25, but more importantly, his positioning was what really made the difference in that battle for them. I mean, he was behind them the whole time. At first, they just kind of really ignored him. Let me rephrase that. Everybody turned on him, but nobody hit him.
Yep.
He got behind him, and he was just there. Sometimes, one philosophy I've started to adapt, just let him clip out and let him go away. Kill everybody else and then go back and kill him.
Yeah, I'd also like to throw against my own call on the T62 saying that potentially ineffective. How wrong was I?
Yeah, he did a great job. The T62 is a very capable tank. It really is.
Yeah, I was only throwing on that map potentially with the bumps, the bounces, the potential difficulty on gun depression. In my opinion, there are other tanks that are more capable than it. That's all I'm saying. But no, phenomenal start to the match. Wow, E5 battle at the end as well. That looked fantastic.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better on that one.
Yeah, it was a good start to it, that's for sure. Who picked this map, by the way? I didn't go back and read to see who picked it.
On your 6.
On your 6, okay.
All right, there we go.
This is going to be interesting on a hilly map with the E100 on UGCC. And no light tank this time through.
Oh, go ahead, brother, and take the UGC side, and I'll do the other one.
So the UGCC is going to run with twin Baby Bat BC 25 TAPs. They're going to run with the Big Bat, the BC 25T, a pair of T110E5s, and a pair of E100s.
Okay, on the opposing team, on your 6, E4, Rue 251, 628 again, TVP, and the requisite triple E5s. Yeah, this is interesting. Very, very interesting. Got to figure the E100s were playing a turtle, some kind of positive turtle. Wouldn't you suggest?
Well, yeah, oh yeah. The big thing with the E100s, it's going to take the focus off of the bats because they got such a big hit point pool that there'll be a big.
Would you be tempted? Would you be tempted when that setup? I'm just throwing this out there as an absolute guess to run the fast tanks all the way around the island for the counter because the E100s can soak up the damage. Would you be tempted?
No, nope, not against a team like this.
Yeah,
even though they have a lot of hit points, they would get melted rather quickly.
It's crazy, isn't it?
They're not fast enough to get. They're not fast enough to get away. Is the problem?
You're looking at what 3-minute run round, aren't you?
Yeah. But if they spawn at the bottom of that hill, they'd be in trouble. They didn't.
Had to throw there. Yeah, I'm bronze division.
I didn't go back
bronze
over there
division.
and look. I'm looking at the wrong team right now. Oh, they did spawn at the bottom of the hill. That hurts.
Does.
And this goes back to once again. This
again,
goes back to changing up your strategy on the fly.
Very much so, but also Overlord spawn points can be that random. That's why a lot of teams don't choose it, because it's difficult to perfect your strategy because you've got potential such disparity on your spawn points.
Yeah, we almost ran the E100 in the last game on the second proc map. It's a good thing we didn't.
Okay, so everybody trying to get to where they're going. Pretty even set up there. The UGCC doing a split strategy, in my opinion, from the off. But of course, it's just down to the time and the tanks to get into speed. Do you think that Honor, with the one win behind them, might try and capitalise here early if they get the spot and try and be aggressive?
Well, I think the big problem is they don't know where these two E100s are. And you don't really want to try to get into a fist fight with those 4 heavies. Not knowing where they are, you don't want to be too aggressive right off the bat.
Totally, and again, looking at your experience, when you're 1-0 up Are you more tempted to be aggressive, or are you thinking to consolidate? What would you do in that position?
I mean, at least now that they know that all the where the bad chats are, I think that was probably one of the more scarier things to realize was.
Absolutely. Right now, I'd be putting a cap pressure on them big time. Is what I'd be doing. You're going to draw them over and make them fight on your terms if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Angie right there in that Rue, he's going to be hard to dig out of there, especially now if on your 6 collapses right here and just holds the line.
UGCC is going to get caught out in the open, and that's the risk you run with an E100. It's got to get to cover, and it's got to get to cover fast. Otherwise, you're going to see this.
Nerd Kisses are still over there. But he's not paying attention. He's going to get clipped out. Oh, and he's on fire.
Fire extinguisher.
Oh, the Aaron Jesus deals him a bad blow.
The fish gets tracked twice. One more shot. Sooners looking for it. Sooners got it.
Trying hard to split our strategy, but the other side needs to push in to compensate for that. They need to push in with them.
There's the second bat chat, and now Sooner and SVT are both looking left and right. It's hard to judge here because at least they have both bat chats spotted.
Yep, and Honor just doing exactly what you just called, slowly falling back towards the cap, consolidating their position. Not sure I like the move on the left hand side there, but it obviously is causing a distraction.
T62 going around, he's going to get position. Yep. Oh, and he tracked him.
Oh, he tracked him. He's stuck
They can
there.
capitalize on this. Oh,
and both E5s are busy with Dig and the other bat chat. Or maybe Cav rode that E-brake. I think Cav rode the E-brake down. Ramp, there it is, 301. And the shot. E100s are still making their march down the right side there.
Yeah. Czar's in a good spot. If he can get his turret just slightly angled, he's going to be hard to pen in that position.
Yep.
But you got to actually turn the turret just a touch so you don't take one straight through the turret ring.
Yeah, but Honor 6 have got the simple turtle position now. Got cap confidence, and they can just chip and wait and chip and wait. The opposing team has to push, and they've not got the hit points or the tanks to compensate. Slow death. Now they're going to push. What I like about watching, what I really like about watching these level of teams is when they know, they just know, and they just go. You can watch it. This symbiosity of it is spectacular to watch.
Oh, and they're going for kills. The bat chat got lit back up. So Pat pulled off so they can go for kills.
Yeah, and there it is.
Brilliant again. Yes, you called that, Pants, pretty much exactly as you forecast there once it got kicked in. So I'll run down the UGCC side. E100, ineffective, unfortunately for him, and barring that, the rest of the displacement damage was okay. 2,300 in the bat chats, did about the best, but I'll let you take over from there.
Yeah, on your 6 side, you had SVT Kill 2 Live out there with 3,500 damage, almost 3,600 damage, and the T62A with almost 4,000 damage. I mean, that was 2 solid games from those guys, and those guys really pushed the pace for those guys. But the E100, both E100s and both E5s that were over on the bottom side, they really had to respect Cutter in that E4.
Oh,
I mean, that's just with a Prem round, you can go right through that E100.
Well, and I mean, it was only really Cutter and then
2 tanks holding them off,
and lasers holding them off that entire time.
And that's the problem with taking an E100 through an open field, is you're not very fast and you're a big target.
Because once the Skoda went down, I mean, so the cross shots weren't on, and they couldn't get across. And just 2 tanks held off, well, 2 E100s and an E5.
2 E5s.
And they got decked on spawn as well.
I mean, that was just Well, Dig broke off and went right to go on to Sooner and to SVT, and that he got punished because the E5 didn't have the gun depression to make the fight. So, but yeah, that was just absolutely insane. And we're now moving on to Airfield.
Oh, Airfield, nice. Back in 2 seconds.
See, here's the thing I like with Airfield. I like the war variant, and then some teams don't like the war variant.
I know me personally, I don't care either way. War variant, no war variant. That really doesn't affect me. But this map, there's quite a few different strategies you can run for a map like Airfield as well. This can be a pretty forgiving map. I mean, you can make it a point to try to take that G5 hill for the counterfire, and you can make it a point to take the cap area. Really, either way you go with it, you can make something work.
So, Airfield, from my limited experience, there's about 3 real plays. Turtle, cover the base, aggressive on the side of the encounter, or the risky sweep right through the middle with some mediums. What would you say is your opinion on that, Pants?
In tier 10, like I said, I guess the big thing is what you're going to run for. Me, I'd go more medium and a couple of solid heavies. This is a map you could see an E100 on, heading up to the E line and fighting in that E line. If you can take that G5 hill away from the enemy team, you can use it to get through like F5 or the whole 5-6 line through that and put cross shots on anybody trying to push heavies on that side of the map. It doesn't matter which side you're coming from either. It's pretty universal right there in the center. The hard part is if the other team goes for a cap, you need somebody out there that can defend a cap. I usually like to get an autoloader. I usually like to get an autoloader to.
Yeah, you would go that way. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I would have went with the TDs, as many as I'm allowed, from a turtle perspective, a couple of heavies, and then switch to non-autoloaders, maybe like the 430 stuff for the sweep, so you can cause consistent damage while you're trying to cause a crossfire.
I wouldn't necessarily put the autoloaders at the G5 or 6 hill. I'd put them at like either E7 or E5 is where I'd put my autoloaders. And that way they can shoot anything going across that hill, but they can also turn and help anybody that's over defending the cap. And at the same time, if they get in trouble, they can just jump down either hill and head to whatever cover they need to head to.
And your preferred light tank on this map? RU or 3090?
Well, I've got one of the best RU players in the game. He's, I think, 6th or 7th overall. So I definitely have Jesus in a RU.
Yeah, RU for life in this map for me. So guys are beginning to fill up their tank selection. 57 heavies, confident selection on that side.
The Conk's a smart pick. The Conk's a smart pick, especially playing against tier 10s. It's very capable.
Tiger, why?
That's from just a random guy.
Yeah, there's a random. I have the room open.
Okay.
I got asked for the room to be open.
I did that the other day. Somebody jumped into one of our practice games, and I just started it with the guy in the game. Didn't care.
I'm sorry. I just looked at that. What? I just seen the tank. My apologies. My apologies to the people on stream. It's getting
Bet you he never did it again.
Scotland. My apologies.
Oh, and I guess they are unselecting their tanks now. See, this is interesting. They're going to run this. See, they're going to run this without a light or a medium.
And I'm sure, yeah, I would feel confident
My biggest
of the potential
fear.
for. I mean, you're going to
Biggest
say it,
fear
so
with
go ahead. I
something
know
like
exactly what you're going
this.
to say.
My biggest
Yeah.
fear is you're not going to be able to react.
Oh,
But they are a
what's
very
that
good, and
about?
that is a smart pick. No mediums to chase him down, no lights to chase him down. All he's going to deal with are heavies and a tank destroyer. That is a smart pick. My biggest fear is you're not going to be able to position yourselves around it. But you know what? On Your 6 is a great team. And I trust Cutter knows exactly what he's doing, and he's practiced this and he's played for this. So you can imagine that he's got something set up for a play like this. You don't even have to worry about the
Yeah.
G side of the hill. You've got all heavies. You can take that little
We talked
corner, and you
earlier.
can take the cap.
Totally. We talked earlier in the stream about bringing artillery, and we didn't finish the argument. Me and Arky, we
You
were
guys want to go
positive
down the
and
take
negative.
listings real
But
fast
my-
and we'll launch?
Absolutely, and I'll get back to my point. E4 on our 6, standard pick. Double conks, very interesting. If they get them correctly positioned, brilliant. T57s and 2 E5s, so a solid heavy setup for on your 6. Right, sir.
Here, I'll go down UGCC. UGCC coming out with that nasty arty tier 12 5385 one batch at AP, OBJ 140s and trios of E5s. You guys may continue conversation.
Yeah, if you
Alrighty,
think of it
so
like this, it was kind of a counter pick in a sense where they look at their team, and it's smart tank selection, I guess, is they look at their team and they say there's no speed there that can really track him down and kill him. Early, anyways. I mean,
Totally.
later on in the game, that's a different story. But he's gonna, if he
But
can get him
my
behind his
auto-
heavies in
my
a
auto
safe spot,
question-
he can rain down.
Totally, brother. But my automatic question is: you're tanked down. Why wouldn't you just push? Just push. You've got the automatic overmatch. Isn't that just a
Well, not
potential
necessarily. You're not
automatic
necessarily a tank
overmatch?
down because there's so many tight corridors in there that how many tanks can you really fit through it?
Yeah. Okay. I
Not
hear
only
you.
that, but when you have an
but-
arty rain through there, he could potentially do some heavy damage to any one of those tanks.
Of course he can. Of
Kill
course he
some
can. but
crew.
Wouldn't you be tempted just to roll them right through the middle right now and just go Hellfire? Tempted? Not at all.
If it were me, I'd try to head to an open side of the map and I'd try to split up just a touch.
Mhm.
Just because you want him to be switching back and forth to try and mess up his aiming. But
And is Airfield Encounter a full 4-minute cap with one tank, or is one of those that has like a 3-minute 15 on one tank and it cuts down real short?
yeah, I think if you get 3 guys on a cap, I think it's what, 45 seconds, 50 seconds, something like that. No,
45 seconds.
Shorter one.
45. Yep.
Yeah. So okay, fair play. Just throw it out there for the watchers, the viewers. I always like to throw out a random opinion of mine, and my opinions are generally quite random.
Oh no, it's all good, buddy. I mean, that's why I love having all these different people on the show. Is so there's so many different views that everybody does and everybody has success with. That just that small idea that you guys might give someone, and next you know they practice it and they beat, say, NFTG or on your 6 with it or UGCC, and just because you guys, well, maybe if I tried this, or would have ran it like this, and then they do a hybrid. But all right, back to the business at hand. Here we go. This is gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, UGC is just reacting to what On Your 6 is doing, and yeah, here they all come. This is kind of what UGC could hope for right here, and this is their best case scenario: is that they have spots to kind of hold
On Your
down, and
6 is
spots
not
to hide.
stopping.
But
They're not
no, they're not,
stopping.
and that's what they. That E5 just got nailed by the arty.
Yes, he did. Yeah, they can't stop moving.
No, they can't. They have to keep going. They can't allow them to turtle this.
They are not
They gotta break
stopping
through.
one bit. They took off the brakes. One down.
Yep, and that's
Wow.
a smart play.
2 down.
And this
Two
is why
down.
On Your 6 is one of the best teams in Tier 10, if not the
Here it
best team in
comes.
Tier 10.
Boom, boom.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh, my
and
God.
they made UGCC pay.
3 down.
And that's why Cutter's one of the best callers out there, right there. You see it right here.
All right. Quick reverse and back the other direction.
But at the same time, I think UGCC should have tried to play a little bit lower on that. One of those E5s probably should have been down by the rock right below BKFL.
See, now this is going to be dangerous. Because now you have the 3 mediums out there. Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't apply
catch
cap
'em?
pressure because they're going to get into positions to spot you. So you're like, we'll put on cap pressure. Well, say one of these. Well, the smart thing right here is this bad chat is paint. Oh no.
Yeah, he's done.
There you go. He needed to get out. So now the 140s does not. I mean, their spotting range is really, really good, but they're not hiding. I would have hid, run away, disappeared.
Yeah, split up, run
Yep.
2 different directions, just get away from each other.
Yep, and all you had to do then is they're going to go into a sitting setup. Ow.
Guy almost killed himself.
Yeah, no joke. And what they could have done was get the spot on everybody and just let your arty go to work.
Oh, absolutely.
And they didn't do that. And Cav, I don't know why, did he lag out? Because he was driving straight on line, which... All right, so this is what UGCC, they can still pull it back with an arty. That's the crazy aspect of this.
He doesn't...
Nah,
it would
no
be
way,
tough.
bro.
I mean, look how much health
So-
is on that board. He would have to do
probably-
some serious damage.
They're
And I'd have to
inside his
capping him out.
nominal shot range now, just inside it, and
Yeah, they're going to cap it out now.
They're going to cap it out, and the Artie can't just sit there and pound shots in because he's about to be spotted.
Yep.
and you get cap pressure and the hunt down, and
I guarantee you, though, he takes a shot at the cap. Let's see if he hits.
with full respect to their ability, I'm sure they can make it work against myself and our guys, but yeah, I didn't like the Artie pick there. The other team did exactly what I'd expected them to do
Oh,
every time. Just
Chocolate
push,
has
and they did just
been-
that.
let's see here. Chocolate's going to be chipped. He is. There it is. The cutter come in. Great job, guys.
2 minutes for the draw, bro. Can you run? Can you hide? You're not gonna.
There's only 3 seconds left on the cap. Oh, shot and a miss.
If you hit that though, it could have been cool.
And that's it.
GG's on your 6, not losing one person. Talk about ruthless aggression, and that's the way they needed to be.
Yeah, and I think the one thing you can never take away from On Your 6 is they are one of the best tier 10 teams in the game, honestly.
And
they just
Yeah.
showed you why.
yeah, they did. That last round performance, and I respect the smart move on the pick for the 53-55, but I think it was
Did
a
the most
standard
damage
move,
on the
just
team.
simply push and rush, and do. Yeah, I get that again, but they didn't hold that for him. And Honor 6 did exactly what I would suggest to do, just push, and they did that. And for me, that was a relatively simple win at the end.
Well, I think one of the big things that came into play in that last game was really the amount of distance between all the tanks for UGCC. You see, most of their tanks couldn't see the tanks coming in at each other at the same time. They could see them at different periods, different times. For instance, the guy that was on that top trying to hold off that middle passage couldn't see the tanks on the bottom that were clipping out that one guy, and the tanks behind him couldn't see the guys killing him as well. So I think
Yeah,
a
and
big part of that was they were too far spread to really hold down
Yeah.
that position. And I get what
I
they were
guess
trying to do, and it was
that-
smart what they were trying to do.
That was UGC's first 768 format run.
I'm not
Wow.
taking anything away from them. I'm not being.
Oh, no,
critical
they're a great
of
team.
Of the,
You
of,
can't
No,
take that away.
I just found
brilliant.
out. That's the information I
brilliant
just got
move.
handed across my desk. Was
Yeah, and what would have been cool in that setup to adapt with the 53-55, surely you would have wanted one big ass TD in there for causing the trouble in front of him to keep him safe and also to provide the extra view range that he required potentially in your setup. But hey, I'm nowhere near these guys' level, and it's been an amazing learning experience for me.
I think I had said, I think I said a couple months ago, and this is probably 2 months ago now on the Wednesday Night Fight stream, is that UGCC was going to be a team that, number one, was underrated, and number two, they were going to be a good team. And now, really, ever since they won the Battle of the Clans, I think they showed people they can come in and they can compete with almost anybody.
They clearly can. Clearly can. Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to see them going forward because, you know, a lot of the new events that have been coming out for Wargaming have been 770, not even 768. So it's going to be interesting going forward. A lot of these teams that are still used to 761 to see how they do playing tier 10s.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal.
I know, like one gold team, they never really played 10s hardly at all, and that's DP. I mean, they fought to leave the 761 realm from going from 754. So
yeah,
Ian and all those guys over there now, those guys are so good at DP. They're good at thinking on their feet. So I'm willing to say that I would think that they're putting a 10 team together now and getting it ironed out while they're taking a break.
And even the teams that are so used to 761 and 754, they can come in and they can compete with anybody in tier 10. They really can because they're a team. They've been together for a long time and they've got the teamwork. The only difference is going to be when they face off against those other top teams in gold divisions is they have a slight edge because they're so used to playing 10s, whereas a team like DP is not.
Yeah.
So, Mark, there you got some people in there. Jingles is cool. Says, my God, TLP Mark's accent is amazing. So,
is that Jingles?
Yeah, Jingles is cool.
Yeah, nice. Well, guys, for me, that was awesome fun. Thank you for the invite. I thoroughly enjoyed that commentary. I've enjoyed the flip flop of the strategies and question some of you more experienced guys on strategies and interacting with you all, and got to see amazing matches across the board the entire night. They were all really good to watch, and shame I can't do it more often, but I really enjoyed tonight, and I'll pop back if I can, but the time clock is where it is, and if you get done, Hellscath, once you've signed up and sewn up, if you're not going to bed, I'd appreciate 10 minutes of your time, but I will sign off right now, and thank you very much. I'm going to jump out of here, let you do your sign up and sign off. If you get time, Hellscath, grab me for 5 minutes. If you don't, I'll catch you later. Thank you again for the invite. Thoroughly appreciating. Hi to all your followers, and that was awesome. Great night. Great night, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming out. Great job, and we'll talk to you again here soon there, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Well, Pants, it's that time of the night, huh? We're already done.
Yes, sir.
25 minutes early. Tonight was...
Yeah, there were a lot of good matches tonight.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, I was not ever thinking that On Your 6 would come 3-0, but yet again, having that UGCC notice coming across my lap that this was their first 768 kind of makes sense. They're going against the Masters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, no, absolutely. They are, and really that first game, that was probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Coming down to a one-on-one where both tanks are really just, you can tell they're both pros in a tank. I mean, a 2 mark in E5, that says something, and a 3 mark in E5 says a lot as well. I mean, yes. To watch those two go at it, that was fun.
Yeah,
that really could have gone either way.
And then your guys' match was another good matchup. You guys were having fun. I think 12 and 36 Panzer, they're playing a little too passive. I think they need to get a little more aggression underneath their butts.
Yeah, I think the one thing that really killed them on Muravanka, like I said earlier, is they had they walked away from the cap. I mean, they had our team, they had MVG who was calling that game. They had MVG trying to hustle over to that cap to reset it, and if they had just trained their guns on the two tanks they knew were there coming across, they could have dealt with the mediums afterwards.
Yeah,
So
make
yeah,
a wall.
aggression and just holding your guns and sticking to it. Don't panic yourself when you just because you see those guys coming. Just stick to your guns and stick to what you talked about and just run it through.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, and then our very first match, BK versus NB. NB coming out strong. BK did do some good for being 2 men
Yeah.
down first match, 1 man down second match. I mean, it was a good match. BK has some some issues that they need to take care of. Like they definitely know that they need to get some more people, a squad that we show up
Absolutely.
more regularly.
And you know what? I can relate to that. I can definitely relate to that. And BK's in the position that Nightmare was in about this time last year, right before WCL. We had a team of about 15 guys, maybe somewhere between 15 and 11 guys. And the problem was we'd schedule a scrimmage 7-on-7, and we'd show up with 5 or 6 guys, and we'd scramble to find somebody else to play for us or do what we could. So I can totally relate to them. I learned a lot of lessons from it, and one of the big lessons that's got to be learned is you need to find yourself probably 15 or 20 guys, really, and
yeah,
just out of that many, maybe you'll get 5 or 10 active.
Yeah, I mean, and that's essentially
Crazy how that works.
Yeah, even in peril, we'd bring on, we'd bring on 4 or 5 prospects and get 2 out of it, and then it's kind of weird. You just a lot of people are like, they're cool to go. Yeah, I want to play competitive. I want to play competitive until they realize it's a commitment.
How expensive it is.
Yeah,
and expense.
Yeah, I mean the silver grind is real. I mean this is like having tanks will become, if you're in the comp scene, and this is well before WNF. The comp scene became my second wife. My fifth kid.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of time. It really does. It takes up a lot of time, and I think in essence that really burns a lot of teams and a lot of players out, and that's why it's a constant evolution. You'll look at a lot of teams, other than those top probably 7 or 8 teams, maybe even less than that. I don't know, but everybody else, you look at the rest of those guys, and you'll see their rosters have completely done 180s and 360s, and they're not playing with the same people they were playing with months ago.
Yeah, it's having longevity in this is
there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I mean,
and those are the good teams.
Yeah, and it's like they always say, the gold teams never go away; they just get shuffled around.
Absolutely, and those guys have all been playing together for years. I mean, at this rate, almost 4 years. So that's what makes it tough to compete against some of these guys, is they've just played together for so long. Even if they haven't been in the same clan for a long time, they're all friends and they all know each other, and they've all played with each other at some point.
Oh yeah, and then yet again for that, I mean, that makes the calling 8 times easier, because now
exactly
everybody knows exactly what each person is or isn't capable of, and typically in those big matches, they don't. A caller's like, yeah, we're gonna go over this way, hold it down a little bit here. If not, we'll do a rotate. Whatever. Do a rotate. 360 on a turnpike, whatever. They don't really have to say much anymore.
Right. You look at a team like us, like Nightmare, and from our WCL team that competed in WCL, there is myself. And really, that's it. That's all that's left from that WCL team.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy knowing that a lot of that stuff is just... You don't... How could I put this? OG teams hardly ever last anymore. It's so many. Yeah, let's stick together unless they become a community, like UGCC or stuff like that. But they have the numbers.
Yeah,
So
but they're also not the same guys that played in WCL for them either.
Yeah.
You look at their team, and their team, I think, is split into a couple of factions, if you will. Clans have split off of them. I think one of those clans is Edis, and the other clan is VGA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those same guys that played WCL aren't the same guys you're seeing right now. There may be some of them there. I wouldn't know that personally. I think they still do have some guys left over, but
we're gonna have to see, and then especially coming here in the soon weeks, we are going to be putting together the Friday Night Fight Cup. It's going to come back. It's going to be put back on the shelf. We're going to rip it out of TNG's hands, and we're going to put it back up for fighting honor to see who could take that one home. That is going to be coming up here relatively soon. If you haven't seen a lot of us on, the reason is we're either A, promoting this big fantasy draft 2017, or we've been, trying to get everything else done, help the WCL, help Wargaming, and stuff like that. So, Nightmare, you guys did take part, but you guys made it to round 2 last time, didn't you?
No, we lost to SBA, I believe, in the first round. I believe.
Oh man, that was a big. I mean, it wasn't like a huge tournament. It was 16 teams, but yet again, there was a lot of like rivalry, and I mean, it felt important to some people.
Yeah, I think we lost 2-3. Yeah, we lost 2-3 to SBA.
Oh man, that tight game. Those
yeah,
are always
and
ones.
We lost in UGCC's tournament. We lost to Immortals 3-1. And in TNG's tournament, I think we made it to the 3rd or 4th round where we lost to KMD.
Oh, really? KMD? That's interesting.
Yep. Yeah, we lost to them, and then we came back on Wednesday Night Fights and beat them, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks later.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yet again, Pants, here you want to do a big shout out. I'll make the banner all big here for Wednesday Night Fights Fantasy Draft. It's right in the middle of the screen, so if you want to do a big shout out to about it and the how-dos.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday Night Fights presents Wednesday Night Fights Fantasy Tanks. And really, it's the easiest way you are ever going to get a Tier 8 premium tank if you win. There's really no work involved in selecting players. If people have questions about it, feel free to message me in-game, on Discord, anywhere you want, really, in the forums. There is a link in the Discord. There's also a link in the forums. My suggestion is read the rules, read the FAQs, and if you still have questions, just ask. I know a lot of people have been confused on picking teams as far as, if I pick these guys, do they automatically play? No, they don't. They don't automatically play. What you're doing is we're going to try to get you as much information as humanly possible to make an educated guess at who's going to play. And I'm going to try to get all the captains together, and I'm going to ask them a lot of questions that's hopefully going to answer that. It's going to give you guys as much information as possible. But really, there will be no easier way to get a free Tier 8 premium tank than this. And like I said, if you have a question, just ask, and I can do my best to walk you through it. But yeah, we'll get you as much information as possible, and hopefully it'll be some good matches at the same time. That's really what we're looking for.
All right, that sounds awesome here. So yet again, the fantasy draft, it's kind of crazy to know this. This is next Wednesday. So get your butts in gear, guys. Go get your team picked, and most definitely figure out who your Tom Brady or your favorite football hero would turn tanker. would be.
And you know, you actually had 4 of the 6 teams playing tonight. The only 2 teams that didn't play on this stream tonight was I4 and Immortals/Panda. So if you just kind of took a look, you can kind of base what you saw tonight on what you might see next Wednesday. Now, granted, it may not be the same tankers. Maybe a team was missing a player or 2. But just look back at tonight, and you can use that as your basis to pick tanks.
Yeah. And then I just threw over the stream for the fantasy draft link and also the schedule for next week. So there it is, as in some people would say is boom. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good.
I've got the spreadsheet already made up. So basically all I got to do is just run down the teams and just start entering data. So in other words, what I'm saying here, if you tune into the stream, I'm not going to post this anywhere in Discord. I'm just strictly going to blurt it out on the stream. So you'll have to pay attention to that Wednesday night. But I will try to real time give you a idea of who's ahead and who's not ahead as we go along. And I'll try to do that every so often.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we would have done a reduced stream delay, maybe down to 3 minutes. Because these fights, I mean, everybody's going to be going for points, but yet again, it's 3 minutes out. So, I mean, if that tank is still in that same position for 3 minutes, it's their fault.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves
but, you know,
it.
The teams that are playing that night, they're not going to be sitting in the same spot for 3 minutes, and I can assure you of that. You're going to see a lot of good teams, and 2 of the matchups I'm really excited to see. I really want to see Immortals and Panda play on your 6. I think that's a great matchup, and I really can't wait to see New Beginning play Eye for an Eye. You know, these guys are turning into rivals, and they're both good teams, and I know Eye for an Eye is going to be out for blood and looking to take their aggression out on New Beginning.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. And, I mean, everybody remember this? On your 6 beat the Immortals last time that they met. Time before that, the Immortals beat them, but that was not on Wednesday Night Fights. So Immortals have battled on your 6 2 times before on Wednesday Night Fights, and both have lost. And that was the big team. That wasn't a side team. That was Tubbins and the whole crew. So Cutter knows how to play the Immortals. It's kind of funny. On your 6 and Immortals, they're both aggressive teams. They don't play the same. It's weird. They don't play the same, but they're both super aggressive.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. It really is. It's fun to watch, especially when you get 2 teams of that caliber going at it. It's fun to watch. And if you're really just getting into the competitive scene, or you're really just, you know, in the competitive scene, but you're looking just to get that a little bit better, pay attention to what these guys do. Pay attention to how they go about setting themselves up. Just pay attention to how they position their tanks and where they're shooting and who they're shooting at, and the selection of tanks they pick. I mean, you'd be watching 2 of the best teams go at it. Learn all you can from it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can't deny it, and it's yet again going to be one of these. You're getting the free Tier 8 premium tank. What's on? And did you go through the store and see how many darn ones are for sale? Oh my God!
Oh, absolutely.
They're like everywhere. I mean,
yeah, and it's. Not only that, I mean, what are you going to do? You're just going to spend 5 minutes of your life typing out 15 names, and you don't even have to do 15 names. If you don't want to put up 15 names, by all means, you don't have to. Only your top, I think it's your top 6. I'll have to go back and check, but I think it's your top 6 tanks that are getting scored.
Yeah, I mean,
so
you can't say, well, I was being lazy. Well, you're an idiot if you're doing that. I mean, so let's see here. We're going to go past all these 4-day ones that are going to be coming up. So so you're still looking at the Sensei STA2?
That's a good one.
Then also, what do they got here? Oh, it's a Tier 7. War Stories are going to get rid of in one day. KV5. The KV5's for sale again. And then, well, and then here shortly that October sale is going to be coming, so you'll have the Gornich.
It'll be out the day before.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna look at all of them. You get a free monster tank. So
Yeah.
you can't beat that. I mean, you can whatever. You'd be dumb if you didn't do it. But
Oh yeah, absolutely no, and it's especially with some of those tanks that are coming in, especially for your German crew trainers for all these new tier 10s, which this may actually change the whole meta of tier 10 battles with these new German heavy tanks coming in.
yeah, well, yeah, and I mean that's well, and then also I mean, is one of the new Swedish tanks one of the new? Or is one of those 8?
I think the premium tank, just the premium tank's coming, I believe. If I read that correctly, the premium tank is coming out.
Well, there's 2 of them. There's a
Yeah.
like a tier 7 and then a tier 8 medium.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so wow.
Yeah, so there's one to get to, and I believe both of those tanks, and I do believe both of those tanks will be available the day before the match.
So
that's something to pay attention to, is to get yourself a head
I
start on the
wish
Swedish
I
crew.
could compete. That sucks. I'm a huge fantasy football buff. I mean, dang it. And I'm unable to, I mean, I'm going to do it any which way because I think we're having an in-office pool.
Oh, yes.
But other than that, it's going to be amazing. Come check us out. I think we'll wrap this on up here. Any final thoughts out of you, Pants?
I'd say just great game tonight. All teams that played tonight, even the teams that lost tonight, they all played well. Don't let the 3-0s you see on the board, don't let those be a determination of how good everybody played. All the teams that played tonight did great.
Very correct. Yes, my closing thoughts. Yet again, live your thoughts and dreams. Respect your where you came from in life. Even this is going through the NFL. You might not believe in it, but use your own brain. Think if that's the right thing to do. So a big shout out to the NFL teams that are not allowing their players to kneel or stay in the. It takes a true American to not agree with things, but still honor the flag and honor our freedom and honor our country. Be easy. This is Hell's Cat Death. Wednesday night fights. Always glad to see you. See you out on the battlefield. Peace.